Who wants to give me the recap?
No.
I will do it.
Today, in the year of our Lord Mytheria.
I will do it. This one.
The Lady Mytheria. Whatever.
Yes. All right. So last time on the Dark Sermon.
Yeah, laid on to Ginny.
Yes. My group coming from Shade Row wound up running into these Inquisitors who had a bit of a skirmish with the Crown Thieves. And upon running into them, we joined forces as we were dropped off at Osen's Chapel on horseback, very convenient. And when we arrived there, we learned more about what our task was going to be and how we were going to deal with the offspring of the Barrow King and retrieving the bell and all that. We learned from Inquisitor Cast, who is our main liaison / leader in this task, that he'll be training us to better do this mission. And we're going to be spending some time here at the Abbey training, becoming familiar with the area, with the mission, with ourselves, and training up to better accomplish it. Our primary objective is to take back the Solace of Souls, a Mytherian relic, and we have a variety of side objectives that if we can accomplish them, great, but the priority is the bell. We had a little bit of back and forth, getting to know each other, and here we are, ready to begin our training and preparation.
Oh boy, get an inspiration, although you'll probably not have to use it this session. So you can carry that over. Anyway,
Correct.
So let's get straight fucking into it, shall we? There is a lot to do, lots of choices to make. The first thing I want to go over with is everybody's prestige classes. So I'm going to be here to answer questions, talk to you about options, because my goal is that whatever class you end up choosing, that you don't have FOMO, that you have fully sussed out why this class is the one for you. Okay? So, we're going to go over each person's stuff. We're going to talk about it as a party, talk about party synergies, talk about stuff that you might not know about, stuff you might not see. So I want to make sure you have the highest percentage chance of being satisfied with your choices. So, first, let me play some fucking Getting It Together music.
Nice.
I love this song.
Yeah.
We all lift indeed.
Okay.
Merchant music.
No.
Essy's favorite song.
Alright, so let's get this party McFucking started. So there's a lot to go over. We're going to start one person at a time. Make sure everybody gets their pieces in. There's a lot to go over. Oh, I can hear myself.
Oh, wow.
Somebody's watching me.
Whoopsie. That was me.
Fucking watching me.
I'm watching you, Arcadum.
Oh, God.
Trying to give that extra view, view
yes,
count
thank
there.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to start with you, Micha'el Grace. You are a level 5 Oath of the Flesh Paladin. You have hit level 6. What prestige classes are you considering?
Converter and Pedal Knight.
Converter and Pedal Knight. Okay.
Oh god, he's gonna put flowers on his halo.
No.
Yeah, he's going to start looking real druidic with little vines and cherry blossoms from his antlers.
Okay, so Converter and Pedal Knight. Perfectly fine choices. It all comes down to, I suppose... First, I should be pretty straightforward that you do know that you don't have to take the classes that have your class in the parentheses. That's just simply what they're leaning towards. They are perfectly...
Yeah.
I'm just making sure. Because I think some people are like thinking that it's not viable to not do that, and that isn't the case at all. But I digress. So we'll start with Converter. Converter is great when it comes to its bless effect that it has, that it gives out. The objective is to convert people to your deity. Spare the Rod is great whenever you want to control the battlefield, which is great battlefield control if they fail to save. Lots of stuff like that. The thing I think I should point out, though, is that Converter progresses your magic roll, which means that you will not be getting any more martial stuff.
Yes.
And then on the inverse is your Pedal Knight advances your martial side, but not your magic side. So I guess the first question I have is, what is it that you want to be able to do with your prestige class? Like, what's your fantasy of your build? Like, what is it that you want to do?
For future decisions, I was leaning much more towards Converter, and I also like being able to have Bless because that solves my concentration issue with blessing the party that I've been kind of running into.
Yeah, that's the mechanical part of it. But I was referencing, what's your fantasy? Like, what is it that you want to be able to do?
Convert those to believe in my god.
Okay. Is that it?
Which god?
Dun dun dun.
Guess you'll find out soon enough. I guess with the direction I want to take the character, I feel like I would like Converter more for what I plan to do. So that's why I just lean more towards it. I think Pedal Knight is a great class, but like really think of it for the future direction I want to take Micha'el, I think Converter would be the best choice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sounds like you're pretty locked into that.
Yeah.
I have some alternative things maybe for you to consider.
Okay.
I think that now this is me speaking as the DM to the player, not necessarily to the character. For the mechanics part, I think mechanics-wise, I think you'll greatly enjoy Chosen. The amount of impact that you can actually have on a battle using the Chosen setup will give you access to a lot of different things. It'll help you mix a little fighter in because you like swinging.
Yes.
You like swinging very much. And I think these are ways that you can really augment the stuff that you have, right? Excuse me. So you have things like you have Storied Strike, you have Rising Star, which gives you access to Glory, which can only be spent on class features, but you still get to spend on them. So that means you get to participate in glorious challenges. And this gives you access to Fearsome Presence, which I know intimidation and trying to scare your enemies is something that you're really into. And this will give you a powerful mechanic to allow you to do that. Incredible Charge is a great party buff as well as it for you as well. Impossible Stand, like all the things that I think you would want to do in battle, you're going to be able to do as a Chosen. So maybe consider that one as well on the list, because I think it really plays into your playing style. And a possible other one I would consider showing you is maybe Oathkeeper, but that would only be if you wanted to like focus on the actual kind of support aspect of it to try and follow Farryn. Because if your plan is to follow Farryn, remember that he's a god of forgiveness and pacifism. So keep in mind that the more violent or forceful actions may not be supported by him. Yeah. That being said, though, I think Converter's a fine choice for you. It was going to be one of the ones I was going to like really push your way, but it seems like you're set on it, and I'm totally for that. I think Converter's a fine choice.
And I'll look into, what was it, the Chosen?
Chosen.
From the Free Cities? Okay.
Yeah, Chosen. Yeah. It's just look at it and really consider your play style as a player. I think it's something you'll really enjoy. Also, glorious challenges are very fun. And it's a way for you to, like, build your name, so to speak. Okay, so I think you're good for now, though. We'll go ahead and do Gideon next. What are you thinking about doing?
There was a few things I was thinking. I was definitely leaning towards Veteran Mercenary. I think that one's really strong. Because I have thoroughly built Gideon up with Greatsword. But I feel like I need to branch him out more, and that's what Veteran Mercenary would do.
Yep, that's very good.
Just from an in character standpoint, dealing with a lot of survivor's guilt and questioning things. I was thinking about Carouser as well, and just having me drink through his problems on fermented milk.
Okay.
You know. And then what was the other one? And then I think I was also thinking about Chosen for him as well.
Chosen's good.
That one. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I think those were like the big three that I was thinking about taking him.
So aesthetically, Chosen doesn't really feel like it fits Gideon, in my opinion. I think that Gideon isn't really a glory-seeking kind of character. Mm-hmm. He's more of a morose fighter, so I think Carouser works really well for him aesthetically. I think mechanically, both Chosen and Carouser are fantastic. Veteran Mercenary was definitely one of the ones that I was going to push you towards, but if I may direct your attention to another one, which I think would work really well with this group, but also kind of maybe lead Gideon down a more to kind of mechanically follow Gideon down this path he's been going of like how morose he is I was going to suggest to you to take Errant Knight. And the reason I was going to suggest that is not only does it fit your like more pragmatic approach that you've kind of been leaning towards and, you know, possibly even venturing into asshole areas, but I think that Errant Knight working with Thorne is a very big combo for you two, because being able to deal more damage while dealing damage to the person who does more damage the lower their HP is means that the two of you working together in that regard, you can have a pretty big like damage swing in a round when you really need it, right?
Yeah.
And also it helps because Thorne is able to deal more damage, but the HP she loses isn't wasted in that regard. It goes to your damage. So it's something that the two of you can really play off of each other pretty well, I think. And that was something I wanted to point out, because you have a character that uses the Mytherian flail fighting style. So
yeah.
So maybe that was something to consider. But I think your reasoning's fine. I think Carouser and Veteran Mercenary definitely fit you. I think Veteran is more of a mechanical choice. Mm-hmm. I think that Carouser is more of an aesthetic choice. I think Chosen is... It's really hard to argue against taking Chosen as a fighter because Legend is very strong. But yeah. I think that's the least relevant to your character in terms of the aesthetic, because he's really not a glory-seeking character. He's never really portrayed himself that way. And I think Errant Knight is kind of like Carouser in how it fits the kind of vibe, but I think the mechanics that it provides is something you should really consider. Because when comboed with the synergy of the party, or in this case directly Thorne, this gives you a lot of bang for your buck, because normally Errant Knight has to hurt somebody that normally doesn't want to be, but that isn't the case for that character. So it's kind of like it's not a win-loss trade, it's like a win and half-win trade. So it's something to consider.
Oh, another one was Penitent one from the Pale City.
Penitent one is also good, yeah.
Yeah, but a question on Penitent Flesh.
Yeah.
Whenever I would get crit, and I get the temporary hit points, if that crit would bring me to 0, would I go unconscious but with temporary HP, or would the temp HP keep me up?
Temp HP is not actual HP. It does not keep you conscious. However, it does protect you from death saves.
Okay.
So it's and what I mean by that is that if you have temp HP and somebody attacks you while you have temp HP but you're at 0 actual hit points, those attacks don't automatically cause a fail of your death saves until that temp HP is gone.
Okay.
And more importantly, that stays there after you get healed. So it, yeah, it doesn't keep you conscious though. No.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
All right, I think those are some good coverage. All right, next up we have is Farryn. Hey!
Hey.
You're a Mytherian silencer rogue. What were you thinking about taking?
Well, I'm struggling to choose.
Don't worry, that's why I'm here.
When I started building the character just a few weeks ago, I had my eye on Revengeant because it was the one I could see, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I really like it. I think it suits Farryn a lot. But now that you've put more up, I'm kind of torn between that or Inquisitor, or maybe even Shadow Thorne, potentially. But I'm stuck on what it gives me.
On what gives you? On which one?
The way it progresses. I'm not sure I've ever really understood that, and I've only heard it talked about in passing. Like the martial magic wanderer mundane progress. Like,
all right, let's go through it then. So we'll start with Avenger, right? That's the one of the ones.
Revengeant, yeah. It's the elf one.
Oh, the elf one. Sorry.
The branded elf one, yes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Right. So, well, first of all, Revengeant grants martial, magic, and wanderer progress, which is supposed to be progression. So that means that you are a mundane wanderer, because that's what a rogue is. That means you would benefit from wanderer progress. So you get wanderer progression, which means your wanderer role would progress, giving you access to more skills.
Okay, and does it mean that my mundane just gets, like, locked out?
Your mundane doesn't get any better. It stays where it is. That's what that means.
Exactly does that benefit me in right now anyway?
What do you mean?
Would it be bad for the mundane to stop progressing, or would it be
it's not that it's bad, it's about what do you want, right? Like, it's what abilities you want. In most cases, your prestige class only progresses one of your roles, right? In this case, we're using a Revengeant as the example. The Revengeant for your setup would only progress your Wanderer side. So that means that you won't get equipment tricks. You'd instead get more skill focuses and skill masteries. So your skills would get better, but your item interactions would not get better. But you still have everything that you already have, though.
Okay. But it wouldn't just, like, surprise grant me martial and magic as well?
No.
Because I don't have access to those as a character.
Correct.
Ah, okay. So it really only buffs Wanderer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, that being said, that's actually, I made those before I decided what I was going to do with progression. So I can see where the confusion comes in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's supposed to be grants you martial, magic, or wanderer progression if you have those roles. Because there are some in the originals that give you a role you don't have of the base class you would need to be to have it. And that's intentional. So there is some intentional crossover. Revengeant is not one of them. Yeah.
Cool. That answers one of my questions as well.
But yeah.
Yay, I'm asking the question.
But anyway, as to Revengeant as a class, it is very good if you want to fuck one person up. So it is definitely a single target, murder them to death build, and it's very good for boss fights. It's not quite as good for standard fights though, so that's something to keep in mind. That'll be more of a weakness, I suppose, is that you have a big gun, and you'd only be able to shoot it basically once in the practicality of a fight. And if that gun is shot on, low, like if there's a bunch of medium dudes, you're not going to be as effective as there's one dude, one big guy. I'm gonna fuck him up, and that's perfectly fine. So I think Revengeant works. I'll admit I don't know that much about your character so far because I haven't really, you haven't had the time to play it. But I think that Revengeant's a fine choice. I think Avenger's really cool, and that you would like playing it.
Keep bringing. Which one is Avenger?
Avenger is the Paladin Rogue dual class, which lets you do sneak attack, radiant damage, and just be awesome. It's very good. It's also a very single target heavy class in that regard. So it's a little bit like Revengeant, except you kind of would get access to some extra spells that would support your allies. Most notably, what's really cool about Avenger is it has one of the highest one-turn shots that you can really get to. And it's very good. So that's something to keep in mind. I also think it works for your current arc, because at 8th level, all the armor you wear is the concealed property. So it's like, and that's like a base thing, so you don't have to buy concealed armor, which is very nice. Next one is Shadowthorn, which is the Druid Rogue, which is very good for poison-based stuff. And if you want to go poison-based, I mean, it's one of the better ones. Like, it's really good. I will say that this particular class is better at spreading poison around rather than making poison itself better. So this is definitely more of a multi-target focused class than a single target one. And then there is Inquisitor, which it really doesn't get more on the nose, roleplay wise than that. The mechanics of Inquisitor, I think, are perfectly fine. What's really cool about it, Little Miss Essy, is that the Inquisitor gives you access to Chastise, which is a very potent and powerful ability if used properly. So you have a free supernatural counterspell. And you've played melee and you know how powerful counterspell is. Well, Chastise allows you to counter abilities before they're used.
Yeah. From a melee standpoint, I was looking at Chastise and being like, oh, I wish I had this so I could have hurt Silver more. Yeah.
So I think that Chastise and the Inquisitor, how it sets up, really works well with what your build path seems to be. So I'll ask you the same question I asked Micha'el, and that is, what is your fantasy? Put up mechanics aside. What is the fantasy of the character that you want to achieve?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
okay. Part of it, I kind of have this rough idea, but I don't necessarily want to spill the beans. And I'm also kind of in a unique position coming in so late to the campaign, right? Where I have the ability to sway my character either way. So if the team decides to branch off and separate from the church and follow other deities, I could do that with them. Or if the team decides to stay together for the good of Mytheria and the good of Corvanis, I could do that with them. And so when it comes to goals, I'm not sure which way I'm going to sway because, quote unquote, as team captain, right, I would want to do whatever the team was doing. And it works really well for her character either way. Like, she's totally 50-50 right now. So, fantasy-wise, I don't know.
Okay, well, do you want to swear vengeance on people? Do you want to use holy sneak attack? Do you want to use poison? Do you want to use skills and confessions and encounter people's abilities and stuff like that? Like, these are the questions I'm asking.
I mean, yes. All of the above sound good.
Just give me all the prestige classes, okay?
That's my problem. I've been looking at this since it came out yesterday, Thursday. And Yes. All of them sound good.
I guess the first question is, do you want to cast spells?
Not as much now.
Okay. Then that helps remove a lot of these, because Avenger and Shadowthorn means that you'll have spell casting. And if you don't want to cast spells, well then we can just drop those.
Okay. Cool. So now we're just down to 2.
So yeah, so Revengeant and Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
So the difference between these is that Revengeant is, like I said, a single target, fuck one thing up very badly type class. And the Inquisitor is a support character that counters enemy abilities and gains access to a lot of out-of-combat presence due to their professional and adept sub-roles. Also, you can demand confessions from people by interrogating them and reading their thoughts. That's pretty sick.
I saw that. That was kind of fun.
So which of those would you like to do more? Do you want to have a more out-of-combat impact, or do you want to point at one guy and say, that guy's dead, and you make them dead?
And not die until they're dead.
We do have decent AoE with my setup as far as, like, dealing with hordes.
Mm-hmm.
But either works.
Unsure.
Okay.
We don't have to make a decision now, thankfully.
Well, we got you down to 2. So.
Yay, that's better.
All right, let's go ahead and take a little look-see at Thorne here.
Oh boy.
All right, what is
ready?
What is it that you want to play, Thorne?
Gravelord.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah. I haven't had the full time to look at all of the others, but I looked at this and I'm pretty happy. I didn't really enjoy the look of Penitent one particularly, and
Okay.
yeah.
Gravelord doesn't really match anything that your character's done so far.
Yes, why?
Like, well, yeah, why are you choosing Gravelord?
Yeah, sort of going into the fantasy of what is it? Like holding on to the dead, sort of an Orzhov spirit sort of thing, and rise up and fight for Mytheria again. Very much into the heavy goth thing and just...
Yes, but that is... You won't be a Mytherian if you choose Gravelord.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you understand that that's like high heresy. That's like you won't be a Mytherian anymore. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, raising the dead is not
necromancy bad.
That's not okay in Mytheria's
big
faith.
squint.
Yeah, I mean, there's an entire like guild dedicated to killing and controlling the undead. That's a part of the church called the Practitioners Guild. So,
okay.
Like, Gravelord, if you like, now don't get me wrong, if you want to do this big shift, go right ahead. I'm just saying that you're not going to be able to do that and still be a part of the Mytherian Church. At least not without changing the church drastically, and that's a whole nother thing. So.
Okay, so I don't have too much at the moment then.
Well, thankfully that's what I'm here for. So, let's talk about what Thorne would benefit from. First up, let me give you the mechanical one that I think would be fucking fantastic for you. And I think that the mechanical one is Bayou Bouncer. I think that is an incredible one for you. Not only does it give you a shit ton of extra hit points, it lets you pay health to make saving throws, which helps you twice as much because you like having your health down. And you can also avoid bad saving throws. You have the ability to knock down enemies for free, which, given your high athletics, if you can also have like a shield alternative if you really wanted to. Try Me is an amazing ability for you because of what it helps accomplish. So specifically, Try Me means that you take a dodge action and you grant enemies advantage to hit you instead of disadvantage to hit you. Now, while that's good, is that enemies are more likely to attempt to attack you, which means you have a pseudo taunt, but more importantly is that if they attack you and hit you, you attack them as a triggered action, and if this attack hits, it deals additional damage equal to the total amount of damage you prevented from the triggering hit. Now what that means is that if somebody walks up and hits you, your armor and battle harden reduces it by an amount, and then you take damage, and then you hit them, and then you deal bonus damage equal to the damage that you just prevented from that hit. For barbarians, this is even better because of how trance works, but take that away, that's still huge for you. So not only do you do more damage based off the damage you prevented, you do more damage based off of your HP, and it's a free attack against every enemy that hits you. It's amazing for your build. You also get Swift and Strong, which specifically targets versatile weapons and lets you add strength and dex together to determine attack statistics. And although it might make the Weeping Knight cry a little for you to have any dex in your build, it is important to keep in mind that having 2 stats to all of your attack statistics is incredible. And flails are versatile. There's also Biggin, which lets you use your strength modifier to determine your hit points instead of your con modifier, which for you, I believe your strength is much higher than your con, so that's a fuck ton of extra hit points. And then there's a lot more to it than that, but the 8th level ability gives you Spit and Blood, which lets you re-roll saves by paying health, which is good for you. And then you have You Ain't the One, which is... God, I love that ability. Which lets you basically negate crits. And then you have That Dog in 'em, which is just... I fucking love that ability. I'm sorry, I love these ability names, but even ignoring the upper echelon, which is great for you, the 6th, 7th, and 8th level abilities are going to make your build immaculate. You're going to get way more health. You'll be able to taunt enemies. You'll be able to counterattack enemies, and it works on both sides of the HP bar. So, something to consider mechanically is Bayou Bouncer. As for your aesthetics, I think that Carouser works for you, and I think it's also a very good class for you as well. Maybe not so much for the fact that you're dual wielding flails, but thankfully by being a martial role, you can just switch to your cup, drink, and then put it back on your belt, and switch back to your weapon if you ever need to. You also get access to there it is, Wacky Defense, which gives you an increased battle hardened. And if you get yourself drunk, then you get the improved drunk state, which is really great. And that'll work with the aesthetic if you kind of drinking a lot. There is also, and there was another one in here that I thought was perfect. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Oh, there's always Chosen, which Chosen's just great. And especially since you're a fighter. So Chosen works really well. I don't know if you've read Chosen, but it gives you because you're a fighter, it would give you the ability to generate legend and then spend legend to do miraculous effects in battle. And it also increases your glory gain. So your ability to become a famous fighter, to enact your influence in the world without having to worry about social roles is also really great. No, not that one. You're not going to be fighting alone. What was it? Ah, here it is. Yeah, this one. The other big one that I think fits aesthetic as well as mechanics is probably Oathkeeper, which gives you a lot of amazing effects. First of all, it allows you to heal without, like, supernaturally. So you don't have to worry about spell healing, but you can still heal people like you did as Bard Thorne. You gain access to the immunity of fear, which is great. You gain all the different battle oaths, do all kinds of cool stuff. You get Chaplain's Call, which lets you attack while healing an extra time, which is great. Full of Promise is a force multiplier. Savior's Hand gives you access to the Lay on Hands feature of the Paladin, which is a supernatural effect not a spell effect. So that's another source of supernatural healing you would get access to. And then finally, you get Final Oath, which just lets you hit your max stacks. So, anyway. Of those, I would say that Bayou Bouncer and Oathkeeper are both mechanically strong. Oathkeeper, I think, is mechanically strong and aesthetically pleasing. Chosen is great, period. Like, across the board. And I think Carouser might take a little bit of finagling to make work right, but I think it'll work with the alcoholism you've been portraying. Or you could just go Gravelord and say fuck the church. It's up to you. But these are options that I'm giving you.
Yeah, thank you, and that'll take a while.
Yeah, go ahead and give them the old read.
I say fight fire with fire. If they want to use undead, use it back on them.
Oh my gosh. Heresy.
You know?
That is a lot of heresy.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
But yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm just going to be telling
But,
you
like,
guys your
even
god is wrong
without-
the whole time.
Even without raising the dead, it's just the other abilities, the level 6 abilities, are nuts. But
Gravelord is good. I'm not saying it's not. I just think that
It deserves thought.
The Inquisition's allowed to touch the dark.
Like, if you want to talk about straight mechanics, Bayou Bouncer eclipses all of them in your build. Like, it's incredible. Anyway, next person up we have is Ginny. Okay, Waymaker.
That's a
whatever you say, Luke's wife. What are you gonna do? No.
Okay, so I've got 3 that I'm in between. And then I went on a walk with Essy and I narrowed it to 2, but I'm gonna bring them all 3 up anyway.
All right, lay it on me.
I've got the Halfling Wind Whisperer.
Oh wow, really? A halfling
That's an
prestige
option.
class? That's crazy.
Okay.
You sure? Are you really sure, bud?
I like your halflings, okay? Your halflings are cool. But then you dropped just a huge pile of other really cool ones, and I gave them a look. I also am thinking, based on the kind of character that I'm wanting to play, and I know I've only gotten one session to like even touch on her.
Yeah.
But I've got Sainted Stigmata as one option.
The Bleed
that I really
Cleric?
like.
Bleed Cleric's really good. Yeah.
Bleed Cleric's cool. And also Spirit Script. But I wanted
Script
to bring
is
up
also
something
good.
about that. I wanted to bring something up about Spirit Script, because
Alright.
I know that it is a Western thing. Would the whole spirit summoning thing be considered a heresy thing? Or
Alright,
would it
so let's
be
talk
Mytherian
about that.
spirits?
Let me talk about that. So, while that isn't... If Gravelord is the, oh my god, that's very haram, stop doing that, Spirit Script is like the slippery emo phase that leads to Gravelord, right? So, it isn't so much that Spirit Script is instantaneously heretical, it's that it's close, right?
Yeah. it
That
definitely-
one's going to be hard to roleplay and maintain your allegiance with the church.
Right. I
Not
can't,
impossible,
summon,
but
I can't
hard.
summon like Mytherian saints or anything, I imagine.
Well, it doesn't even matter if they are Mytherian in nature. It's that you are possessed by spirits.
right.
And to most people, that's pretty heretical.
Kind of
Like, see, this is what I was talking about. Like, Thorne, if she went Gravelord, you could be raising Mytherian knights to serve their goddess again. That's
Sure.
still a zombie.
You're still
Like,
disturbing
people are,
them.
like, just because they have makeup on and they have the right flag doesn't mean that they're not zombies. You see what I mean? So,
Yeah, that makes complete
Yeah.
sense to me. So, because and going into the whole fantasy thing and who this character is, she's like super duper penitent. She's part of she's spit in the face of heretics. The church is the way, right?
yeah.
Her family's been doing it the church's way for generations, and there's no reason to stop now. She's unquestioningly faithful. So I feel like, because Spirit Script and Wind Whisperer are very feelings-based,
Yeah.
I think she'd be less likely to go that route. And because of what you said now about Spirit Script and the whole spirits thing, she probably would be very wary of that and would probably go for Sainted Stigmata, because that is very on-brand Mytherian, which is what she wants to be. She wants to do things by the book.
Yeah.
So probably that then.
Sainted Stigmata is great. Other suggestions I might have, there are a few that I considered.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of them was
Mystic Thurge.
I did look at Mystic Thurge. I did.
Well, you want to stab with a spear, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you're a militant, right?
I wanna be in the fray and explode.
Okay. Well, one of the ones that I was thinking about suggesting towards you is Evangelist.
Yeah.
Which is very good, because if you're going into the Sainted Stigmata of I believe in Mytheria that I'll sacrifice for her, well, Evangelist is very much that. Evangelist is also a superhero, a super healer, right. even more so than the Sainted Stigmata does. Which, granted, it doesn't really matter between that because you're going to be healing your ass off, but Evangelist has the added capacity of getting songs, having reactions, and ways to essentially interrupt enemy abilities and everything like that, which is pretty great. Also, it's not dependent on a stackable resource that can be manipulated like Bleed can.
Right.
The other thing,
I'll give that a look.
The other thing that you might consider as well is, even though it might not fit based off the name alone, I actually think for how you play Waymaker, and for what you've shown me with Ginny, you might consider Shaman. Not because of you're a shaman, you're wearing a funny feathered hat. No, look at the abilities. It's essentially a form of it's a form of healing and battle commanding, which is great. Which will give you the capacity to not only do that, but you'll also get Savage Defense, Reckless Attack, and Trance. So that means you have the ability to enter a combat state. And you could,
That'd be kind of wild.
Yeah, you could reflavor that like crazy, right? Like Mytheria's light glows in your eyes when you enter your trance. That's why I specifically named it Trance, was so that people wouldn't think that they have to rage and be mad. That's not what it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
I would definitely consider Shaman.
I think I'll consider Shaman and Sainted Stigmata then, and I'll try and balance those in my mind and see what I come up with, because both of those do sound really cool.
For Wrath, full ruin.
They're aggressive, and I like aggressive.
Yeah. Shaman is an aggressive class, which is something I think you might like. Okay, next up we have is Mythos.
No Halfling Tornado.
E.
Alrighty, what were you considering?
Sage.
Okay, just Sage?
Yep.
Right.
I haven't had the time to look over everything because I've been doing it for 2 characters on the side, but for him, Sage was definitely the one that stood out immediately.
Sage is great.
I think fits him.
I won't pretend for a second that Sage isn't amazing. I will invite you to come on a journey with me.
Okay.
So, because you chose the fighting style, that gives you the fucking lightsaber. Redacted, can't say that, in trouble. This means that you have... Oh, buddy! Do you have some fucking option arenas? Like, I don't know how you feel about, Man. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Pedal Knight would be a fucking amazing for you. Like, Pedal Knight is a great option for you. Like, I think Sage, don't get me wrong, Sage is a fantastic choice. But I think that Pedal Knight is one you should really look at. You might have to switch some of your ability scores around a little bit, but if you really think about what you can do with that fucking sword that you summon now with Pedal Knight, I think you'll see what I'm talking about. So Sage is also good as well, but you've already read Sage. I think another great one for you would be... I was thinking about it. So let me ask you about your crossbow. Is that the thing that you want? Like, do you want to use it?
No, it was a well-rounding utility. That's why he had a crossbow, a longsword, and a shield I couldn't use originally. Was just for well-roundedness. It was supposed to be my initiating thing to get my key so I could go punch stuff.
Oh,
and that's why I really leaned into Sage, because I don't have to hit now to get my key. I can martial check, and I can get information for the group, because Mythos is an int-based character, so that's why I leaned towards that originally. because it can be like, I can get that info, get my key, go in and start beating the shit out of stuff.
Okay. I guess my next question is, to all of that is, so that's the reason why you've been using the bow, is just to generate key first and then go in?
Yeah. Well, that and also to play backline, because like our first fight, we had no one covering the backline and stuff like that. So it's tactical utility.
I get that. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking. My brain is unlocking.
All right.
Well, if that's the reason that you wanted to do all of that, maybe you should think about Infiltrator. Did you look at Infiltrator?
I have not.
Infiltrator is the dual class of Monk and Rogue. Now, what it gives you is it gives you Adept for Stealth. It gives you Step of the Shadows, which is whenever you attempt a stealth check, you apply your current focus as a bonus to that check. And you may attempt a stealth check even if observed, which that's huge, because that means you can disappear when someone's staring at you. You can just disappear. So that's really good. You get Sneak Attack and Cunning Action, which gives you more goodies you can use with your bonus action without having to use key. You get Shadow of Selves, which is whenever you use a stealth check, you may spend one key, and if you do, you gain a mirror image that lasts until it's expended or combat ends. And when you deal sneak attack damage, you can expend 2 key points and deal more damage on your sneak attack. So this gives you a big single slam hit. So if you're going to stay in the back and fire with your crossbow to generate key, this gives you something to do with that key or to teleport in and attack people. And you don't have to be Way of Shadow Monk. You can stay Way of the Sun. So maybe that's something for you to consider as well, if you really want to stick with like this backline kind of rogue, or not rogue, but kind of monk. This actually increases the efficacy of that role. And even though, like, how would I say this? Even though presented, generating key on your crossbow is a little bit less efficient comparatively to being in melee and like doing 2 attacks, this will make it to where not only are you far more likely to hit because you'll be stealth and advantaging from stealth because you'll have the adept subroll, but you'll be able to generate key while stealthed, be able to make a stealth check even if being observed, which means that it just, unless they're using like a super powered divination or detection ability, I'm just not going to see you as long as you roll well. But you'll also be able to, at later levels, at 8th level, generate mirror images to use to go into combat with, which means you have a less of a chance of even losing those. So these are all things to consider. Also, I believe you could also retrain your... Wait. No, you still have your Sunblade. Never mind. But something to keep in mind, because you can still do the Sunblade attack and get sneak attack off of that, which would be hilarious to me, to be stealth and then surprise sunlight. You know, it's so
Sunlight.
Very good. Yeah, that's pretty funny to me. But
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the power to do it.
But yeah, so that's something that maybe you could consider as well with your particularly strange setup. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I'm just saying that it is an odd challenge to put yourself into, to use a loading projectile weapon to generate key. And I think that Infiltrator really would help you do that.
Well, the other side of that is part of what he was going to do with his training with Farryn was to switch to a short bow or long bow like her.
Oh, that works too. I mean, that's whatever.
It'd still be the same thing, initiating from range, so it'd still work with all that stuff. But,
yeah.
That was the main thing. That's why he's been talking with her about training him for combat and also for the.
Oh yeah, if you switch to a longbow and did Infiltrator, I think that would be awesome for you, because not only do you get the first attack is advantage with sneak attack, but you also have a follow-up martial extra attack, extra shot, right? So that's good, man. Also, you'll get access to rogue feats if you go that way, so you can get like Malicious Strike and stuff like that whenever I release the full feat list, I should say. There's still more content coming, but I would say Petal Knight, Sage, and Infiltrator are fantastic choices for Mythos, and just consider them.
Yeah, I'll look over Petal Knight and then Infiltrator.
Yeah, I think
Petal Knight's the pretty boy knight, so a lot of people would probably think that would fit him.
Well,
He is kind of a pretty
more
boy.
so, I would say the reason why that's good is that gives you the ability to focus your non-physical damage dealing fucking sword attack in a way that is really helpful, right?
Yeah.
And you're also trying to build a switch hitter, and Petal Knight would be a strange switch hitter, but it wouldn't be a bad one. I suppose there's also my innate DM curiosity to see if you could play a Petal Knight while switch hitting. So there's the personal aspect of that as well.
Yeah, I'll take a deeper look at him, because I was probably going to rearrange my stats either way, even for Sage, because just swap things around, because I don't really need strength as much anymore with my Sunblade available.
Yeah, exactly.
Just 3 stats instead of, the 1.
You could definitely do that.
I'll look into those. So mark me down for those 3 as potentials. I just need to read more into them and then think on it.
All right, so now that I've kind of went over everybody's classes, let's talk synergies. As a party, what is it that you guys want to accomplish in battle? Like, what do you think your strategy is going to be?
Everybody rush in and
Everybody rush in.
something.
Okay.
And I guess
A strong front line.
I mean,
strong
They're
front line, and then
Micha'el.
Farryn and Mythos, it sounds like, sneaking around and dealing with
depending
more
on which
sensitive
one I take.
targets. Depending,
because Mythos' big thing has been learning the situations. That's why I gave him the Arcana stuff so he could check on magic. It's why I try to make martial checks as often. And that's why he's cautious and sits back before going in. He tries to be aware of all the things.
And I think Sage is fantastic too.
Information to put everyone in a better position. And if Farryn did win the one with Chastise, I think that would also be really good combo, because if Mythos does his martials and can get multiple things at once, we can churn through enemy abilities. She could shut off important ones and things like that, so that would have a good synergy. Again, I'd have to look over the Petal Knight stuff and the Infiltrator. Like, Infiltrator, again, she could go sneaky, sneaky. I could go sneaky, sneaky.
Let me help.
So there's synergy there as well.
Let me help on how that would work, right? So, right now, you only have one stealth character, and that's Farryn. If Mythos went Infiltrator, that's 2 stealth characters with the potential of not only being able to focus their fire on backline targets to bring them down, but they'll also be able to scout, which one of the big weaknesses that Dark Sermon has had is you have no scouting ability whatsoever, at least until Farryn joined. So being able to lean into a weakness and shore it up, I think, is a very good idea, because figuring stuff out before you guys even engage it, also very good. Sage, I think, for what you're trying to do, Mythos, and with Farryn having Chastise if she chose Inquisitor, excellent idea. Churning through enemy abilities, learning the bad ones, shutting off the bad ones, gonna make things way easier. And also, something I think is important to keep in mind is that since you have a 4-person front line, then you have what is essentially a pretty classical military formation of a pincer, right? You can make a wedge, and that's something that's really nice. But anyway, what were you saying? Sorry, I was just adding my 2 cents there.
No, that was pretty much it. I haven't figured out where everyone else is settled, but they are typically the front line. They go up, they stab. So just anything that can, from Mythos' side, anything that can support that, whether it be sneaky or whether it be information.
I would also say that if Farryn didn't go Inquisitor, I think Mythos would also make a good Inquisitor if he wants to stay back and gather information and help block out abilities. Since he doesn't want to be up front fighting that much, I think Inquisitor would be a good fit for him as well, since he's a big intel person.
True.
You are also not wrong on that. I will add that to my list of 4, and then I will break it down slowly over the next week.
Let's see. Another thing to point out, I think, is if you guys want to do this rush-in kind of build, if Waymaker does end up choosing to go Shaman, the starting abilities that he gets, the first one is Push Forward, which is whenever an ally at 20 feet of you would critically hit an enemy or defeat an enemy, you heal an amount of hit points equal to your Wisdom and Constitution modifier. What is your Wiz and Con right now, Waymaker?
My Wiz and Con are a hang on. I think it's a +3 and a +1, so that would be 4.
So that's 4 hit points you get anytime somebody crits or drops somebody. Press that with Press the Line, which is whenever you would be healed by your Push Forward class feature, you increase the healing of the next healing spell you cast by the same amount to all targets. So that means that if somebody knocks somebody down, you heal them for even more than normal.
Burst heal.
A burst heal. That's a burst heal based off of attacking. That's about as aggressive as it gets. That, coupled with the fact that you'll have access to Savage Defense and Reckless Attack and Trance eventually, means that you'll be able to deal pretty damn good damage. What's your strength right now?
Plus Divine Grasp. My attacks are based on my...
Wisdom, right. You're a militant cleric, yeah.
So, yeah, my minimum damage right now is like 12.
Right, because you have the temp HP, you have the Wisdom to damage, then if you add Trance, that's another 2 on top of that.
I can freaking punch real good.
Yeah, that's going to be really good. And then you have Vitality Surge, and this is a big one, right? This, I think, is one of the biggest ones. Is whenever an ally is healed by you, that ally gains an increased critical threshold on their weapon by 1 for 1 round. Now, let me walk you guys through this. You're fighting 6 enemies. Thorne, Gideon, Micha'el, and Ginny are all at the front. You're fighting. One of you kills one of these enemies, right? So, you kill one of them. Ginny immediately heals and gets a +1 to her critical hit threshold because she is her own ally. So, somebody else kills another one. Now Ginny has even more. And then Ginny attacks, and because of her increased critical threshold, she critically hits and then increases her critical threshold again by healing, right? And if you go, what is it? The fighting style of did you take...
I took a little sticker.
You took a little sticker?
So I can stab.
So now you have increased AoEs that keep making your crit go up, which keep healing you. And then, let's say Ginny's comboed that like 3 times, right? So now, you've been healed a total of 12 hit points. So the next healing that you drop, let's say Thorne has taken some damage, you throw that on her, like a basic healing word, you've now healed her for an amount equal to 1d4 plus exposure plus 12.
Question.
That's gigantic. Yeah, what's up?
That is gigantic. Would that heal Thorne because she's a blank?
Okay, bad example. Gideon. Then.
So not her. Okay.
Sorry.
So Gideon, yes. I healed Gideon real good.
You heal Gideon really well. Sorry.
Okay, just checking.
So you get to heal Gideon off that really well.
Mind you, if Thorne went Gravelord, then that would be completely negated because
the
healing can't happen in your bubble.
Yeah.
But she, in turn, heals us when she hits.
That's not
She
healing.
hits a lot.
That's temp HP. It's
There's
different.
both in the kit.
But here's the thing, right? At 9th level, and this is really the big one, Ginny gets Reckless Abandon, which is whenever Ginny attacks with a spell, she can use Reckless Attack with it, and if she does, all allies within 30 feet gain advantage on their next attack roll they make, which is great.
Yes.
If the attack you make would defeat an enemy or critically hit, all allies within 30 feet are healed equal to the amount your push forward would heal you. So that's yet more group healing that you can stack on top of that. So what does that mean? Well, if you took an attack cantrip, that means that you can go up with little sticker, farm attacks, people are defeating stuff, drop a big fucking heal on somebody, and then, at 9th level, cast a cantrip, blow something up, and then heal everybody. It's pretty big.
Like that.
It's pretty big.
Pretty sick.
And then you have For Wrath and For Ruin, which is...
Yes.
The Wrath and For Ruin is so good. Like,
yes.
You get to add your cantrip effects to the weapon attack of all your allies within 30 feet, which would affect Thorne, by the way.
Yeah.
So, that's fucking crazy good.
For reference, I've got Toll the Dead and Word of Radiance right now, which are great.
But do you have True Strike?
Anyway,
True Strike's a terrible spell.
Those are just some examples of some things that would work with the current setup that you have.
So for veteran mercenary for the
What's up?
the consumables. What all is considered a consumable? I know potions would be, but would like using
potions.
alchemist fire.
I'm going through it. Potions, oils, bombs, salves, tinctures. All those things are considered consumables. A scroll is considered a consumable. Winky face.
Okay. And each time I use one of these consumables, I'm required to change it. I can't just choose to not to change it.
Wait, for what?
Is there a benefit to
Like
not
if
changing?
I used an oil at the start of battle and gave a +2 to my strength, and then I need to take a healing potion later on, would I have to select a?
No. You don't have to change it to something else.
Okay.
You can keep it the same. Yeah.
All right.
You have a floating +2 that you can throw anywhere you want.
Okay. Cool.
You just need a pocket full of bacon.
Yeah.
Pop a bacon every once in a while.
Okay.
You just need a flask full of water so you can consume water and then change it.
Or just a pocket full of Alpha 5 toast.
Elder Five toast. I love
Yes.
that stuff.
I love my Alda Fife toast.
Arcadum, questions about Converter. When it says enemies affected by your voice of guidance, does that mean if they just step into the aura of the bless? Or does that mean I have to try to have convinced them beforehand? Like when I look at Voice of Reevee, whenever an enemy is in your Voice of Guidance aura, or level 10 says enemies affected by your Voice of Guidance. It doesn't say aura.
Are you looking at Converter right now?
Yes. For Rapturous Belief.
Hold on, let me... What is your question?
Enemies affected by your Voice of Guidance cannot harm you unless you're the only conscious enemy remaining. Does that mean enemies within 30 feet of me? It just says Voice of Guidance.
Yeah.
But earlier, okay. I figured this is what I meant, but I just want to...
It's enemies affected by your Voice of Guidance, which means they have to be benefiting from it. And you have the ability that lets them benefit from it. So if you give... so if you give them that... That's the whole point, is that you give your enemies a taste of your god's power, and you, like, confuse them. Right? That's the whole big thing. So...
Yeah, with Voice of Reason, they also just have Bane, which is really good.
Correct.
Which is really good.
So
Bless my enemies.
You would give them one or the other, but you couldn't stun them because they're not benefiting; they're getting a negative.
Correct.
So they would have to have the.
They
the
have to
bless
be
portion.
benefit. Yeah, exactly. So you get to choose between, like, so this is where the finesse comes in. You have to decide. Okay, these enemies I need to have Bane. This one I want to try and fuck with. So I'll give him Bless, which is a risk, right? Because they are going to get Bless, but you use that on them to try and affect them with the other abilities, to, like, stun lock them or make it to where they can't hurt you. There's a lot of, like, finessable things you can do there.
Yeah. That was just my only question. And then Spare the Rod would work with really good with my fighting style, because if they miss and the 2 radiant damage, I could just forego that, and then they can't attack me in one ally.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's very good for Tower of what is it called? Fuck.
Tower of Light.
Tower of Light.
Light and Might.
Light and Might, yeah.
Light and Steel.
Light and Steel, yeah.
Steel and Light. I don't know.
That's what also spoke to me, was me having that fighting style. They just miss and they just take, and I just forego that. Then they can't attack me or somebody else. Is really good.
So I'm going to ask a big question here. So let's say we pick a prestige class, like I pick Veteran Mercenary, and then as the campaign progresses and I'm not really digging it and I want to change
let's
the
talk about
prestige class.
retraining. Let's talk about retraining. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I'm giving you so much leeway on when you have your characters ready, retraining prestige classes takes 3 times as long as retraining base classes.
Yeah.
So you can retrain. It's just a major time sink to do that.
It would be prohibitive mid-mission.
Yes.
Yeah. This would have to be something that we can't do during the mission, but I would just want to make sure that we're not. You are stuck.
No, you're not stuck for. No, you're not stuck.
Yeah.
The only thing you're stuck with forever. Well, I shouldn't even say that. The only thing you can't choose to retrain is your race.
Yeah.
That has to be something that happens to you.
Oh, but I've been trying to get taller.
Oh, you can redo your background?
So does most of the fucking world. Most of the men in the world, Waymaker, would like to be a little taller.
They sure would, wouldn't they?
But would they like to be a baller?
Yeah, so the only things you can't change are the only things you can't retrain are your race, your gender, and your fucking background. Like whichever one you chose. Unless, well, you can retrain backgrounds, but only with that feat. Or, okay, I should say, most of those things you can't choose to retrain. That has to be something that happens to you. Like a girdle that turns you into a dude or something like that.
Or being cleansed, who knows? Or I'd be turned into a rabbit.
Or you die and someone casts reincarnation on you, and then I get to have fun.
Or Thorne takes a bath and then they become an elf.
Thorne could be a Grave Lord for a little while, and
Don't
then
put this evil on me.
And then see the error in her ways and be a penitent one later on. Who knows?
No.
Or I could convince her god is wrong.
All right, so it seems like she still wants to be Gravelord. So let me walk you through what that would be
I'm
like.
also looking at Ancestral Warrior, but
Ancestral Warrior is a fantastic choice. That one's a great class.
sorry, that was one that I was looking at before you released the recent sets.
Yeah, Ancestral Warrior is fantastic. I think Thorne would do well with that one, like really well.
Because it moves away from the glory mechanic, which I'm on. Like, yeah, I'm just Oathkeeper, Chosen Carouser, go into, and then I don't like the Biomancer's like dependence on taunt mechanics, because like I can't choose who the enemy targets, and like I don't think it would work out how I want. I mean, sure, you can like offer the enemy advantage on you, but that doesn't mean that they have to attack you or anything, and so...
No, but mechanically they would want to. Yeah, if I got given advantage on something, I'd probably...
I think...
would you want to go... Or, yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, let me walk you through that, because I think you're being really pessimistic about that. The first thing is Try Me, which gives them the advantage to hit you. You're right, they could just choose not to attack you. But if you put them in a situation where you're the only target for them to hit, then it doesn't matter. Then they're just not attacking, and that's fine. Sacrificing your action economy to shut down everything else is great. That's number one. Number two, you can get the taunt mechanic, which is the intimidation mastery, and there'll be feats that allow you to chain up to that, or you could even train into an alternate path if you really wanted to. But the third thing is like, enemies have tactics. Mm-hmm. Not every enemy is going to be cunning and just going to ignore you. And even so, then just don't use it. Mm-hmm. That is not the crux of the whole ability. Like, that is not the entire class. That's just a nifty thing they can do. Mm-hmm. Like, look at it all in context.
However.
Yeah, and then Swift and Strong doesn't do anything, because that's 0 dex, so...
What's Ancestral Warrior do for you? I'm looking through it now.
It converts over glory, so I don't have to worry about that, and gives a different resource pool that's static or equal to level.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, Ancestral Warrior is great.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic choice.
Double Barbarian, yes.
Oh, God.
2 frontliners.
We could hit things so good, Thorne. We could hit them so good.
And since if I go Veteran Mercenary, I could just slather y'all in oil.
And the other thing to keep in mind is that at 7th level, you get Biggin, which gives you a fuck ton of hit points, which works for your build because you want more hit points. And then Spit and Blood at 8th level lets you re-roll saving throws you fail. Just as many times as you want. Well, once per save, but you can do it more than once, is what I'm saying. Which, that's huge, man. Like...
Yeah, it really is.
And to put your health down, which allows you to do
which is what you want. Like, it's... Normally, losing health is bad 100% of the time. For you, it's only 50% bad. Because, it sucks your health is down, but you also have more fucking damage.
Yeah. Damage. Y'all ever play Diablo with a full damage squad?
I think your fear of that enemies just won't attack you when you use Try Me is misplaced. Yeah. Enemies have tactics. Cunning is not going to be active all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean,
and it's
even
just
without,
and even
yeah.
with cunning, that doesn't mean I'm not going to attack you. Like,
Either one of those would be sick.
but yeah, I mean, Ancestral Warrior is also great. So like, it's a great one.
Yeah, I just have to print these out because it's hard for me to read and compare on the wiki. So,
But anyway, back to what we were
We'll look at
talking
these.
about, and that
Yeah.
is your group tactics and what your prestige classes are, and what they're going to do when they synergize with each other is also very important.
Speaking of synergy, I've been mulling things over, right?
Yeah.
So, if Waymaker decided to choose the Stigmata one, which would do lots of bleeding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots.
If I chose Revengeant, would the shared suffering stack off of that?
I believe so, but let me go get it in front of me. Revengeant and Stigmata.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get that in front of me. Let's see.
I hadn't even thought of that.
So,
Ooh.
Revengeant, Shared Suffering. Yes. Yes, it would.
And then I have
Back on the table.
maybe an awkward question. I don't know. Like, it's really good against one guy, right?
That is what it's best at, yes.
So I've watched a lot of Dark Sermon, and they seem to fight a lot of like tiny-ish things, you know, like group battles, I guess. But sometimes they come up against big ones like the Troll or Bobina.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say they're pretty balanced, actually, between both of those. But yeah, continue.
So would it be at a disadvantage for me to take something that focused on just one?
Not at all. Not at all. No. That's not a disadvantage. That's an advantage when it's useful. Like,
Situational.
it's a situational thing. Like, if you fight against... Like, it's not like you taking this as a detriment by any means. You can still focus one guy and say, that guy's dead. But if that guy's not a boss, then it's not going to be as useful as when it is a boss, you know?
At the same time, if there's multiple targets and you are eliminating them completely one at a time, that's still good.
Yeah, it's just not as effective as if you fought a single enemy, is what
The bandits, for example, you could have picked either Miss Slaughter or with whatever the one guy with the healing kit was. You could have just deleted one of them.
Yeah,
They're not bosses, but you could have just been like, get out of here.
Yeah, just because something isn't a boss doesn't mean that there isn't going to be like a linchpin enemy. Yeah. Like, here's something for you. If I've got a commander out, and that commander is making his frontline enemies not attack Thorne, who will beat the shit out of them when she's using Try Me, you can point out that guy and say, hey, I'm going to fucking kill that guy. And then he's dead, and then they don't have a commander anymore, so they attack the closest target.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. Wow, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Which is how I like to do in IRL LARP stuff. I pick the commanders and I shoot them.
Revengeant would be good in Horde in like a big group fight because you just mark one and then tell everybody to ignore that one because you can't really die easily because of Dark Will.
That's true. You could do that shit. You could Tonberry that shit. Do not kill that one, and then you go fight everything else because that you're like almost impossible to kill. Yeah, you can Tonberry that shit. Like,
your death saving throws are automatically a 20, so you just always get up.
Yeah, every
So-
turn.
Now I'm like, I guess it depends on the synergy because you're right. Inquisitor is really cool, and Inquisitor would work really well for Thorne and for my playstyle because I do a lot of diplomacy with my characters. It seems. So I could totally RP it, but maybe if Ginny goes Stigmata, Revengeant would be a good buff. I don't know. We're talking about synergy here, so
Since we're on the topic, with Stigmata, because I'd be giving myself a lot of bleed to make it work to its highest potential, does bleed take from temp HP first?
Yep.
Or does it go straight to...
It takes from temp HP first. Yep.
Man,
That's why it's good.
I really like that. Okay, so now I'm still on the fence. That is really good synergy. I like that. Oh, a bloody mess.
Sorry for making it harder.
No, this is fine. I have to have all these details. All right, somebody else hit us with something complicated.
Just to make sure we got a way to get rid of that bleed when we need to, yeah?
Well, yeah, it just takes a medicine check or non-magic.
Would non-magical healing get rid of it? Yeah, I guess that's the question.
Yeah.
So would a normal
I imagine potions work, right?
potion work?
To remove bleed?
From stigmata.
What's up?
Arcadum, the bleed from stigmata doesn't remove from magic healing. Do potions count?
Yes.
Okay.
To be clear,
So-
it's healing of any kind, not just magic.
Oh, so even non-magical healing?
Correct. That's something I need to
Right.
change.
So it's got to be a medicine check.
It has
get
to be a
rid of
medicine check. That's the trade-off.
it. Cool.
Yeah.
So I need
yeah.
somebody to still be a medic, right?
Who
Thorne's
has
a medic?
medicine kit? Okay.
Well,
Thorne is a medic.
I don't know. Or hopefully.
And you
So-
guys bleed? Couldn't be me.
Medicine check wouldn't just be rolling for it. It would be you have to have the kit.
You have to make the skill check.
The skill check.
Mm-hmm.
The having the skill
Oh, I'd
makes
be
you
terrible
far
at
more
the
likely.
skill.
I mean, some of us have skills, so like,
You do.
does it matter? The thing is, I don't have a kit, so if it requires a kit, that would be a problem.
It
If
doesn't.
It's just the
No.
skill
It's
check-
just the skill. It's just the skill.
Oh, well then, Jack of all trades has got you covered. I feel
Okay.
like.
I will add that the healing still works. It just doesn't take the bleed away.
Yes.
So.
But when you got 40 bleed
Yeah, right.
and you go
I'm not
down
gonna-
after doing a single
I'm
attack,
not going to have 40 bleed. That would be
Yeah,
insane.
never
Look, we
know
don't know
that.
this.
combats
I
can
mean-
last a long time if they need
Yeah,
to.
21
I guess.
rounds sometimes.
I guess.
Nah,
enough.
combat doesn't last that long.
Oh.
What if
Yeah.
somebody medkitted me? Like, would it still be like a DC 15 medicine
Yeah.
check?
It's
or-
DC 15. Yeah.
Okay, even with medkit.
So
Yeah. No.
would they
If you have a healer's kit, it's a DC
Mm-hmm.
15 to make the roll, and if it's a medicine check with the skill, it's DC 15. But healer's kit, if you don't have
Okay.
medicine trained, you can still use the kit to act as that to
Okay.
equalize.
So I might as well carry one.
Someone's got to do a DC 15 check to remove the bleed off of you.
So I could carry one without proficiency and do that?
You can, but you'd have to take a minute. Well, actually, no. You need proficiency with it to use it at all.
Okay,
But if you
that
don't,
makes
but if
sense.
you don't have the combination effects, then it takes you a minute to use it, which is not a combat thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay. Cool.
God.
Hmm.
I will tell you right now, if Gideon plays Errant Knight and Thorne plays Bayou Bouncer, you guys are going to be fucking stars.
There's so many combos.
It's so fucking good.
I feel like we're going
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I mean, if you don't feel like it works with your character, Thorne, you don't have to do that. But the combos are unreal.
it's
If from a purely mechanical standpoint,
Right, it's just like
which
you're
is
doing
not
the
what
dodge
we're aiming
action,
for.
you're not doing attacks, and if
And
you're-
Arcadum said it multiple times. We're not aiming for a purely mechanical thing. This is also about character. So
yeah, you do. I mean, do what you want. It's just
yeah.
I just think you're. Let me ask you this, right? How many times have I attacked silver
I don't.
in
A
the
lot.
brass tacks? No. Like, how many times have I attacked silver in the brass tacks?
All the
Okay,
time.
so, Mr. Silver's build is full riposte on Buckler, and he dodges each turn. That's all he does.
He's just
and I attack him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just in your own head, man. Try me is an amazing ability. And the other thing is like if you're worried about that, guess what? Gideon can give you attacks. He gets an ability later that lets his liege lord attack. So you can do both.
You're also a traveler soul, which makes you inherently smarter and better than 99% of the people we run into on the road.
Okay, well, calm
Or
down.
I guess like
You're just better.
yeah,
what
right.
I've, like,
Sell that
seen
Cornelius.
is,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, say that shit again when the
I can
skeleton
also,
hear him.
I mean, in
I
that
can hear
vein,
him from
also,
now.
if Mythos goes Sage, he can also give her an attack. And then if she hits, then he gets to attack.
well,
And
yeah,
then if he
those are,
hits,
like,
she gets to attack again.
you get one triggered attack, whereas like if I just do my attacks. I get 4 to 6
I
attacks
mean, you
if
are
I just
correct.
attack action.
Yeah,
And
so-
there's a
so-
big
It's the
loss
Holden
there, but
dilemma.
also, like, from what I've seen of the enemies is that they tend to go for, like, they tend to go take down Gideon, take down Micha'el, then take down Thorne. And there's, like, not much I can do about that.
Okay, great. I attack Gideon, crit him, and then he gives you that damage, and then you deal plus 10 damage on all your attacks, and then that turn you don't try me. You just attack normally.
Mm-hmm.
And deal a fuck ton of damage. Like, I
Okay.
just read the combos. They're right there. Like, it's right there. And also, the amount of damage that you'll be doing from Try Me, if you get attacked, is going to be huge. It is going to outpace the damage you would do normally anyway. Like, well, I guess it depends on how many enemies are attacking you. Like, you probably wouldn't use Try Me if you were fighting one boss. Probably not. But if you were fighting a bunch of dudes, like little guys, then that's when you would use it. You'd step out up front, use Try Me, and you'd get people to attack me. And then Gideon's doing a bunch of extra damage and hurting you at the same time. And then he gets crit, and then he combos off the damage to you. And then on your turn, when you have a plus 10 to damage, you use Action Surge and do full dual wield damage. And delete everything around you. Like, and the reason why Bayou Bouncer works with that is because it gives you extra resources to make that work. Like, it gives you the ability to get extra hit points. Like, you understand how many hit points Biggin's gonna give you?
18, or, sorry, 21. Which would translate to about about plus 5 damage if I'm injured to that scale.
That is several.
Yeah, plus 21 hit points. That's 40% extra life. That's gigantic. Oh, man. Anyway, but play what you want. I just want to make sure that you understand why it's powerful. And
I probably just need time to read and absorb.
Yeah. And also try the pessimism around Try Me, unfounded. There's plenty of people that have please attack me builds and I attack them.
Yeah.
Now, if you fight against a very smart opponent, like a master at martial combat, they might not. Or they might do it just to prove that they can. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, there's anything like that.
Free action. Hit me.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it.
If I did go Air at Night, and I declared you my liege, you would have a 6 on your battle hardened.
Yeah, that too. Like, it works so well, dude. Like, it's so much damage reduction.
But it's giving them so much crit opportunity.
But you can
And you would drop
you
that
could take
by
it.
6 plus your, just for battle hardened, plus whatever AR you have as is. And then
Which
you
is
get
7
to deal
with
that
her
back
splint.
on your next attack if you did Try Me.
Mathematically, it's worth it.
Bro, it's
also
so good.
understand,
It's so
also
fucking
understand
good.
if I'm up there with you, the enemies can more than likely will have Bane against them, so they're running on a 1d4 against their attack.
I mean, take this from someone who's considering Sainted Stigmata and like taking massive amounts of bleed all the time to do massive damage and healing. The trade-offs are there to make it work. It works. It's very cool.
Imagine me critting you makes you stronger.
Right. Just makes her angry.
If you live, you would have 70 plus hit points. Like, do you understand how much you'd be able to take? Like, it's crazy.
That's now. As you get higher, you're gonna have a shit ton. You have a shit ton of health points. So very possibly by level 10, you have 100.
And even if you went down, like, you would still keep that bonus, so somebody could get you back up, and you still have that damage bonus on your turn to just knock the fuck out of them for knocking you out. So
did anybody else
because you
hear
go
that?
down, you don't
I
lose
did.
the bonus damage.
That was great. I too would like to take my turns.
Oh dear. But yeah, I'll go with that I'll go over that with the party.
Yeah, look, lots to think. It's lots to think
can't.
of. It's lots to think of.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that you understand what that option actually is, because you have a tendency to make presumptions and then make them facts in your head, and they're just wrong. And I'm trying to keep you from going down a path like that, because you just deny yourself opportunities at that point. I do think Ancestral Warrior, though, is a fantastic choice because not only does it give you access to a non-physical damage source, which can be really great and unexpected in a blank, but it also gives you access to, the Barbarian stuff as well. So you get Trance and Reckless Attack and all that shit, which that's always good.
And spooky, ghosty stuff, at least, which is...
Sure, which plays
fun.
into your...
Good flavor.
Into your aesthetic as well.
Listen, I love Rapturous Belief. I am immune to all damage. Listen, the last guy standing is fucking crazy. Anybody in 30 feet of me cannot harm me.
Yeah, but then you gave every one of them bless to hit us. Thanks, Micha'el.
That's
You're
fine.
welcome. Good luck.
Hit me, preferably with bleeding weapons.
Although, to be honest, if you win Gravelord, that would be really
I
interesting
think
to see.
I would...
I would be
interesting,
really
but-
interested to see how you would roleplay that, because it's going to be hard to stay Mytherian and have Gravelord. Like you'd have to, like the first level wouldn't be that hard to deal with. You'd have to be careful when you use it, but basically your two most powerful abilities is like, don't use them, don't do it.
Yeah, and just
That's
Touch of
heresy.
Decay is
The
so
Lost Seneschal.
evocative.
Yeah. You start walking around with an undead guy just next to you, chatting it up. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if we just
maybe.
raised all of your family members?
Yeah.
They
But-
could whisper in her ear.
Like
She could raise Ariel.
Like,
Question.
the appeal of the Gravelord, I don't really care about the undead or, like, having the squirrel pets or whatever corpses I can find. It's, like, Touch of Decay
Squirrel pets?
and
What are you talking about?
necrotic
Well, you know,
swing,
undead
Aura of Death,
squirrels.
Rotted Soul. Like, level 6 and level 9 are awesome. And the others are kind of whatever. But
I think it's so weird that you think that the most powerful features it has are meh. That's absolutely crazy to me. Like, are you serious right now? Like, are you just
it's
like?
I'm not just going from Power Game. It's like
Okay.
like,
Oh, you mean
just,
aesthetic?
like,
You mean aesthetically? Okay, that's fair.
Aesthetically. At the same time, there's
Like-
a lot of people that I've spoken to who've gone down the list, and they're just like, oh, I really like this class for this, and that, but that one, no. And then somebody else will chime in by like, that's the best part. It's an opinion thing in the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
When
we're
it
like
I
comes
also
to-
love that I'll have Hallow
having
on my
undead
armor and weapons
servants,
now.
whatever. But the support, the offensive support of level 6.
Well, if you want offensive
Instantly
support,
enchanting.
I mean, hold on.
I mean, Biobancer just gives damage and baits extra crits and extra damage coming in, and it does give like the tankiness, but like, you know. And again, you said Ancestral Warrior gives you the non-physical damage, and this does too.
I mean, if you want to do non-magical support, I didn't realize you wanted that.
All right, like
There's but there's a lot of that. Like, okay, let me throw some more shit your way there, Billy.
Oh dear.
Let's see here. Hold on.
Question
Pop
for
this
you.
open. Yeah, what's
Back
up?
On Aura of Death, does that persist outside of combat? Because I know
Yes.
she wants to be...
Okay,
So-
then
yes.
then that won't work.
Okay, so
that's
she
rough.
can't be like a medic going to people trying to heal them.
No.
but her Aura of Death prevents
No.
from being
And
healed.
stand over there in the
Okay.
corner,
That
Thorne.
doesn't-
We're going to
No.
heal.
Okay.
That doesn't turn off. No. Once you get on Mr.
Okay.
Bones' wild ride, you don't get off.
Okay.
I don't force choke people.
Arcadum, quick question.
All right.
Yeah, what's up?
For Hallow, would that mean if she went Gravelord, would I just negate all of her abilities then?
For what?
Because level 7, I have Hallow, and it dispels defensive, magical, and supernatural abilities from evil sources using dispel magic. So if she went
Hit her.
Gravelord,
You could, yeah. You could dispel her stuff and suppress it, I suppose. If you wanted
Okay.
to use those resources.
cool. Just questions, because it says 1 damage is just dispel magical, defensive, magical, and supernaturals versus dispel magic,
You would
which I
have
think
to
is
hit her.
cool.
You would have to hit
Yeah.
first.
And
You say
I'm
that
saying
like
the
it's a
dagger.
bad thing.
bonk, your god is wrong.
She touched his horns
Cookie
before,
cutter,
and he
buddy.
launched her into
Yeah.
space. Do you think he won't hit her?
Man,
I'm thinking like of an
if you want to be offensive support, why does
Or
why-
I like the Gravelord as well because the bonus action.
Can you explain to me why you don't like Oathkeeper?
Oh,
Ooh,
the
Oathkeeper.
oath stuff was super fiddly, and you're like doing delayed action. You're like you're limiting your option paths, and like I have to stay next to this enemy even if like what it seems like a nightmare to keep track of and follow.
It's not as complicated as like a wizard or a bard. It's pretty straightforward sounding.
Well, no, wizard and bard is like less reactive. Like you choose your.
No, it's not. Bard is not less reactive. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, dude. Like
both of those classes are the most reactive.
I grew up with like I grew up playing like wizard since 8, so that doesn't bother me. And bard is like, oh, they're failing a roll. Give them some inspiration.
Oh, so
it's a one. She likes the one and done, not things where you have to consistently like tab on to it.
And when you have to do reactive stuff to your enemies and not to your allies, is like messy. I'm even thinking about like leaving tactician because I'm just like I just know I'm gonna like do a crit and miss that trigger and then it's gonna be
so you
like,
don't want to keep track of resources exactly. You want something that's aggressive.
So you don't want you just want to. You want the game to be easier then? Is that I don't know how
want to hit.
Like
she likes the macro or the micro, not the macro, not the micro. I think.
Yeah, fighter.
Man, all right,
hit.
Yeah.
Okay then. If you really want something like that, then actually, can you do this? Let me see. Yeah, you can. If that's the case, just be a guild merchant. Like literally hire other people to do it for you. How about that? Make money for your. No, I'm 100% being serious. Take guild.
That would be hilarious.
No. Listen to me. I'm 100% being serious. Make Thorne a guild merchant, if that is what you actually want. You not only get Merchant's Kit, which is a resource expenditure for the party, which is a overwhelming level of advantage when it comes to wealth, and many of you are item based. Number 2, you get deal and expansive. You get Deal Maker, which is going to be more money that way. You get Expansive Enterprise, which means you can hire an ally. You get an additional ally slot, so that means you would normally only have 1. Now you have 2. So you have 2 extra pseudo party members that you could summon. That you can summon based off their builds and have them do everything, and I'll control them, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then at 8th level, you can pay money to avoid damage. At 9th level, you can supernaturally heal allies by sacrificing your own HP and then getting that HP back if they get healed. And then at 10th level, you summon a 3rd ally slot and cheapen all the costs of upkeep across the board. If you really just don't want to play the game and let others do it for you, then go that way. I'm 100% serious.
I am actually like I'm seeing the appeal. We're adding it to the list of things to look at.
It can actually work on the social aspect because Thorne, from what I can tell, wants to be a social character. That kind of feeds into that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
Did I hear correctly that you can pay money to avoid damage?
Yes, here's $1. Yes. Please don't hit me.
Yes, it's so the golden rule is a reaction where she can spend 100 gold pieces to gain +1 AC for 1 round. You can spend additional increments during this reaction to increase your AC further, and it has no limit. So if I'm going to hit you and you need, like, if you have a 18 armor class and I roll a 26. You can choose to either take that damage, or you can choose to pay 900 gold pieces to make me miss.
What?
You just throw money in their face.
Yeah, that's what being rich is like. You just throw money at your problems, and they're gone.
It's a banana. How much can it cost? $10?
You just throw pocket gold in their mouth.
One of my favorite scenes from a movie was a guy who was like trying to barter with zombies, like pulling out his checkbook. I'll pay you anything, just please don't kill me. The zombies ate him, but
of course
I mean,
they did.
Like, this is funny.
Listen, you get another ally slot and just bring back Green Jack.
Right, also, important question: how does that work with Anointed Silver?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Okay.
I'll point out that that's also only one ability on the list.
Anointed Silver is not actually worth that much. It is the requisition currency that the church uses.
Symbolic.
Yeah, it's a It's a proxy currency, is what it is. That's what it is. Like
It's a currency for holiness.
Anointed silver has no value, well, no real equivalated value outside of the church.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
anyway, that being said,
No, thank you. That's a fun possibility. But
yeah, I didn't realize what you wanted was to not play the game. If that's the case, then just do the build merchant. Like,
That's also a way to play the
like-
game, Arcadum.
I mean,
combat's a bit fretful.
I
And
guess
having the social aspect. Yeah. I mean,
the social
I get
aspect.
stressed.
The social aspect is fair, but I mean, it's like summon some people to do it for you. Works for me.
Yeah. Everybody get in there and JoJo strat with more people.
Well, it's the money. It's the money path. I'm not going to knock anybody for taking the money path.
I won't say no to more people if you do choose that.
Or you just play Gravelord and you try to play around it. That could be interesting to see.
Which is
Yeah,
also,
I'm taking notes for like Biobancers. Well, maybe not optimal, but like max combat, all in synergies. Ancestral Warrior has like some bits to it, like an
I want you to
alternative
play
combat.
Bayou Bouncer from my own bias, but
Okay.
Florida man.
Ancestral
Oh.
Warrior. We can be barbarians together.
And
Well,
Gravelord's an
considering-
interesting roleplay path, and then Guild
Yes.
Merchant has also
You know,
interesting
I
roleplay
think-
possibility.
Now that I've relooked at Ancestral Warrior, I think for your build, Spirit Rush is probably one of the strongest parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because this means you can actually go to 0 hit points
Mm-hmm.
and
And
play,
then-
play around it. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. Where I think,
That's sick.
yeah, it was just a solid
You're
choice
human,
that
right?
I was sitting on for a while. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I have no racial things to look at.
Paul.
So
For now.
Yeah.
don't
You mean
put
for
this
now?
on me. Don't you dare.
What do you mean for now?
Gideon.
And
Yeah, Ancestral
or
Warrior
just
definitely
use the
works.
battle pass tactic just to win all games.
You could just do that.
Mm-hmm.
Microtransactions for the win. Just she becomes EA.
New
As a
skins
character?
for everyone.
Pretty much so. I have 4 choices to look over. I'd like to do that not, in a session listening to things, because
I mean, you could
Thinking and listening.
you could also go Battle Herald.
no, I can't
Well,
do Bard.
She's not Bard anymore. She's
I
the-
can't
the-
Well, you-
progress magic.
That doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Bard isn't just magic. Blank only knocks you out of the magic roll. It doesn't knock you out of the Wanderer roll, which Bard is also. So if you really wanted to do some really
Well, 'cause
wacky
it-
stuff, you could
It
go Battle Herald.
says 6th level fighter gains spellcasting progression.
Yeah,
Well,
which you wouldn't gain.
Or- Oh, okay.
but you get everything else.
But
Yeah,
how
you,
would
you still get everything else.
how would the inspiration work?
Well,
If,
that
games
that obviously would be a problem. Like, I'm not saying that
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's going to be very good because her exposure is -10, obviously. But there are other things like command. Like, there's more than just that I was thinking of. Because you get command, you get what is the
Can she inspire the enemies with -10?
well,
That's the opposite, sir.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think command is worth
I-
that much though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't,
And Nick's Battle Herald.
yeah, already done.
Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh well,
Oh, well.
That's okay.
I've said my piece.
Yeah.
Thank
She
you,
got
thank
some
you.
Thinking to do.
I have a
Wait,
lot
wait,
of
wait. Why
thinking to
did
do,
why
and
didn't you
it's,
like Penitent one? I thought that was one of the ones you were
I-
thinking about.
I guess like maybe we just have different evaluations on it, but I really don't like giving enemies advantage and extra crit chance. That just is asking for trouble. So that's why I see Pendant one and try me, and I'm like, hard left.
Interesting.
I
I
am.
mean,
What?
Sure.
The
It's
big
a fla-
numbers
It's a preference
that damage
thing.
her, scare her. Like it's,
Mhm.
I get it.
Yeah. That's fine.
I can see where she's coming from with it.
Well, no, I'm trying to figure out where you're getting that from. for Penitent 1.
Doesn't Pendant 1 have a thing that you give the enemy extra
Yeah,
crit chance or advantage?
If you critically hit an enemy, the next attack against you is a critical hit if it hits. If you critically hit somebody. You have to actually critically hit them. And, man, if you get critically hit, you don't actually get critically hit. Like, did you read the actual class? Because that's not what happens.
No, I was building fences this morning, and
whenever
most
you would
of
be
this week.
All right, let me
convert
explain.
half the
Let me
damage
explain.
into temporary hit points.
Let me explain. Penitent Flesh is, whenever you would be critically hit, convert half of that damage you would take into temporary hit points. This cannot trigger if you have temporary hit points. So a critical hit is just double damage. So that means if you get critically hit, you actually turn half of that damage, which turns it into a normal hit, as temporary HP. Which means if you get healed for the damage you took normally, you now have profit health.
You get better.
Which is why that's good.
So you want to crit them so that they crit you so that you get stronger.
Yes.
That's cool.
That's the idea behind it. And furthermore, if a big guy crits you and then a bunch of little guys attack you, all of their damage is eaten up because the big guy critted you, which is also what you want because Penitent 1 focus targets a single, like, optimally speaking, you would hit the biggest hitter in the hopes that you would crit them so that they would crit you so that then you could resist the damage on everybody else. So that you would take less damage profit-wise across the entire combat encounter. And then, not only that, but you also get all the other cool stuff that comes with it as well. But I digress.
I think the big thing there was just missing the fact that the crit gets cut in half, like the damage gets cut in half, so that you don't take the full crit damage and you just get temp HP.
Yeah,
I think that was the
it's
big
actually
mistake.
a good thing to be crit in that class. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Actually. Really good.
It's not bad. I mean, obviously Barbarian gets a little more out of it, but you would... It's still solid. Like, it's really good. Like, you get advantage
and I'm
on
already
saving...
looking at off-class stuff.
You get advantage on saving throws versus evil sources, which is pretty Thorne. Like, that's pretty much up your alley.
That was something that was... Because what if I already have advantage? Do you do triple or does it stop?
I don't. No.
So, like, it doesn't synergize with blank.
That blank is only against spells. Yeah. There's so many effects that are... okay.
Yeah.
Just
This
play
would be
with,
for like
play
poisons,
what
this
you
would be for
want.
supernatural effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blank does make it more complex, but hey, yeah. I will say this, Thorne. Choose one that feels cool to you. Because when it comes down to it, they all work.
I did try my best to design them.
Arcadum, you did a fine job.
Yeah, I truly tried to make it all work. Like, I really did. All of them are, at least to my best ability, equalized for each other as options. So you're not really going to choose wrong.
Yeah, they have a lot of details. And I definitely had to bounce them back and forth with Essy and Legend until we figured out, oh, that's what this one means. We walked for like 3 miles the other day just talking about prestige classes. There's complexity there, but they are all very well designed. I like them a lot. So
I feel like I need to pull all of these, print them out, and then go
that's
for
a good
walk
plan.
and talk with Luke
Get
or
yourself
Squad.
a core qual.
Yeah.
But
So.
I really like the Penitent one for Thorne, just because like I know you really like the aesthetic of the sensor flails. And that would really
That's true.
jive into that
That'd be
as
really
well.
sick.
I really like the sensor flails, but I don't know what those do in Verum and such. And I also need
They're
to
flails
all
with
the
sensor
salts.
smoke capacity in them.
Yeah,
They let you summon healing smokes. They can summon purging smokes. They can summon...
But otherwise function as flail.
Yeah, they're still flails. They're just flails plus.
Nice.
And so does that count as a what is it? A weapon augment tier 1, 2, 3, or like?
It depends on the type of flail, like the type of sensor flail you get, because they have qualities. I will say that even the smallest one is about tier 4 at base, so it's going to be pretty expensive to make a souped up item. But you do have 12,000 gold, so
we have money.
I allocated that I'm interested in going up to possibly tier 7 on a pair of flails, but I was also like, wondering if there's like chain whip flail, but that's other things.
I
Oh,
require
oh.
6,000 for veteran mercenary.
Well, if you're referring to flails with reach, there are those. I will say,
No, as far as
actually, those are pretty
reach,
sick.
or I was more like having like one flail be a sensor flail and one have like just like some synergy with the whip trick, and like put that as the exotic proficiency. It's a whole mess of a thing.
Well, there are whip flails. Those already exist.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
And they are an exotic weapon. Yes.
Yeah.
They already exist.
Okay.
Now, the problem is that they take a lot of support to use. So it's... Unfortunately, they are a dex weapon. And that would make... that would make Papa mad at you.
Cringe.
Even if I just
Are you
use
willing
them
to suffer the
to...
wrath of father?
Hey, look, he's not here. And what Dad doesn't know won't hurt him.
I mean, he's already going to be disappointed, but I was wondering, because I'd want, like, maybe a pair of the normal / sensor flails, but then have the whip flail basically just for possibly restraining something.
Well, they wouldn't have restraining. They wouldn't have that.
Never
Yeah.
mind. Okay. I will think more on
If
this.
what you're wanting is like Kursagama stuff, then no, they're not going to do that. Now, the cool thing about it is they get bracing strike. So they're one of the only non-spears that get spear attack. So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
What does that mean?
AoE attacks with spears. Like, you know how spears can hit somebody that enters the area with bracing strike and combos on top of that?
Overwatch, yeah.
Yeah, the flail, the flail whip has bracing strike.
Sick.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. But
Yeah. I need to think. I'll be back in a little bit.
sure.
Okay.
All right, who's next? Anybody else got some questions?
Think.
For the tinctures, break down how those work, or like what are some types of tinctures that I could get? Like, is there one that I would be good for dealing with like undead and their diseases? Like, can I spread an oil that prevents me from getting an undead disease or something like that?
Say again?
For the tinctures, they're essentially like an oil that I coat on myself. Yes. For the
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Alchemist Master.
So oils go on items, tinctures go on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, what are the types of tinctures that I could get? Like, is there one that would prevent disease from undead and risen? Okay.
Yeah. There's so tinctures are like temporary, like stat bonuses and stuff like that. Like, there's a tincture that gives you increased strength momentarily. Those are the more advanced ones. But there's also tinctures that, like, there's one that prevents bleeding. That makes you immune to bleeding for like a minute or something like that.
Okay.
Question from me. For the Sage for Grizzled Veteran for the martial check bonus, does that apply to the other like pseudo martial checks, like Arcana checks and stuff, to like learn
Only
spells
martial.
and magic? Only martial. Okay.
Only martial.
And then for Infiltrator, not Step of Shadows, Shadow Cells, where it lets you make one image. Does it stack? And does it stack up to normal mirror image 3, or can it stack higher?
Believe that one stacks. Let me go check though. What is that for Infiltrator?
Yeah, for Infiltrator. Level 8.
Infiltrator.
It says last until
Yeah,
expanded
it
combat
stacks.
ends.
It stacks with
All right.
itself, and it has no limit,
Oh,
which is what makes it good. Now, it costs key, so it's not like free,
Correct.
but yeah, it's pretty good. Generally speaking, Infiltrator is good with the exact thing you're doing, which is why I suggest it to you. It's about a monk that hits from far away to then engage, and the added stealth just makes that easier for you.
E.
How much downtime are we going to have to retrain for our prestige classes? Like if I wanted to change an advanced fighting style, or gain a new
Basically,
weapon trick.
during this transition period, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Remake
Cool.
your character to your heart's content, except for the stuff you can't change, like race and region. And then when we start up again, whatever your character is, that's what it is. That's what you retrained for.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm leaving that open so that way people can have. They have time, because
Kind of like what you do with level 4 feats.
Yeah, the same thing. Like, you have time to think about it, to go over it, to discuss. Like, because I know this just a session's worth of time isn't going to be enough. I just wanted to get everybody's stuff on the board, and I wanted to talk to you guys individually to try and help guide you, give you some options. But in the end, you're going to talk to each other, you're going to mull it over, you're going to go back and forth. You're probably going to change your mind, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
My objective is to provide context and options, not to steer you to or from something. Like, even Gravelord, if she wants to take it, that's fantastic. I just wanted her to be aware that if she takes it, that's heresy. If she does, if she summons the dead, right?
She will no longer be welcome in the Pale City.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I wanted to know about the spirits thing.
Yeah,
We're already there.
deal.
Yeah. What do you mean you're already there?
I don't know. Like, if Daddy finds out, oh man.
Okay, I'm
yeah.
kidding
No, you're
about
good.
that, right? He doesn't actually care if you have dexterity.
Oh
Like-
no, I mean about
No, I
the
think
missing
it's
armor. He might
You
care.
lost
about
his
Oh,
armor
well,
straight
alright.
to the rack.
That's a problem. That's gonna
I
make
would-
him sad. But yeah,
Very sad.
He's not gonna be mad.
You're gonna make him cry.
I do think maybe he cares about the woman that he gave his armor,
The
his
person
daughter's armor
inside
to,
him. Right.
making it back safe more than the armor itself. Maybe. Just
Maybe.
spitballing here. Maybe he's a person and not a fucking like quest that you failed.
He's a face armor knight. They're all face
He's a
armor.
face armor knight. That's what he
Yeah,
is.
what would making him sad be any different from normal? He's the
Yeah,
weak
he already
knight.
has the
That's
sad
true.
face.
That's true. He's always
He
weeping.
can't cry.
He's the sad emoji
He's
knight.
He's always
I know
weeping.
he can cry.
Cry emoji.
Bad emoji.
Oh no.
Would Never Again stack with Dilettante's Desire?
Hold on. Never again. Where's that? 9th level
It's
penitent
penitent
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it would.
Dope.
Okay. Okay. And then in a different direction for armor, if there is an upgrade for like concealed dagger compartment, like what tier of upgrade would that be? Or is it just like you hide a dagger as an action or different sort of thing?
You hide daggers in your armor, like you can hide them. If you want like a mechanized thing that you can like summon daggers or equip them, that exists, but that's practitioner stuff. So that's like
okay.
And that's also light armor only.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
unless you're ready to walk down the duelist path.
No.
No big girl just strips down to her fucking bandages. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then
You have any idea how
Would
cool
the-
it would be for you to wear a fucking flagellant's robe as light armor and go duelist? That would be so sick, dude.
you
Anyway,
make
go
me
ahead.
strip down, I'm gonna have a Waymaker commission, but here we go. And does the Abbey here know of like anti-risen measures to suggest for splint and flails? I assume like hallowed anointed.
You'll
are
have
different
access to
weapons.
anti-undead stuff. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay.
Or basically just learning about the
Yeah,
tiers or
yeah.
some of that would be good, as when you get to it, the center flails, anti-undead stuff, and whip flails.
Well, I mean, the
stuff like
anti-undead
that
stuff,
would be
it
appreciated.
already exists. Like, it's going to be tier 3 or 4 upgrades. It's going to be whether or not you use specialized poisons, tonics, oils, things like that, against the undead, which is going to be anywhere from 200 to 400 gold pieces, depending on potency. Like, there's all kinds of stuff for that. I think it is more important to decide, instead of building for the mission, build for the core, I think is what you should be doing right now.
Okay.
Because you have 12,000 gold pieces, so this gives you the ability to replace the armaments you lost and build back into your core. Overbuilding for undead means you won't be ready for other threats.
Yes.
So
even not building for undead specifically, what tier is the hallowed, like HALLOW, not
Hallowed?
with poison. Hallowed, yes.
Hallowed, as in holy time.
Yes.
Yeah.
The hallowed property is
for weapons.
I feel like it was 3.
It is 3.
Could be wrong.
Okay. Thank you.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Hold on.
Kidding.
Cooking.
Something in my head. Why is it there?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hallowed is 4. Sorry. Hallowed is 4.
Okay.
Can we get Zealot?
You mean Zealous?
Zealous. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you can get Zealous.
Aha!
Now,
what is
getting-
that? Tier 7?
It's tier 5.
Oh. Okay.
Will
that's not
getting
terrible.
these things make us more of a target, though? Will the undead be able to sense them more?
The more hallowed you walk around with in your pocket, the easier it'll be, yeah. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. They have to know what they're looking for. It is a risk.
Then you could just say, "Oh, we stole this from a local church group that was running through the area."
Well, generally speaking, I don't think you'd be walking around in your holy gear when trying to do infiltration stuff.
Right.
Also true.
I think the only time you'd be putting on your holy gear is if you're ready to go fucking kill some evil, right?
When it's go time.
Yeah,
We suit
and
up.
at that point, who cares if they see you coming? Because you're going to shoot
Right.
them in the face. Like, prepare for death, Billy.
Barrow King, I come with a warrant.
Oh God, here we go again.
I
That's
come
a
with a
throwback
warrant
for you.
shoots. Yeah. Question about items since we're on that.
Yeah.
Does Ginny come with items already, or is that part of the buy-in?
Once you choose what you're going to be, I'm going to give you starting gear that helps you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just put random generic shit on your thing.
I saw.
Meaning once you choose like whatever your prestige class is, I will give you items leading up to that. But I know you're a militant cleric, so it's probably going to be the same anyway. But
Right.
you're going to get a tiered weapon and a tiered piece of armor to start with.
So I've been looking between Stigmata.
I
and
guess
Shaman.
I guess you could just make it yourself. You get a tier 4 weapon, a tier 3 shield, tier 3 armor.
Nice.
You can build it as you wish. That's your
Okay.
starting gear.
Cool.
Is there a property that allows me to use a consumable as a bonus action?
Yeah, be a fucking mercenary fighter.
Well, that's potions. I'm talking strictly consumable.
Be a mercenary fighter. Do it.
No.
Do it now. No, there's no
Nah.
property that lets... Well, there is, but it's locked behind a bunch of shit that you can't qualify for.
Yeah.
Not unless you want to not be a fighter, that is.
Satch.
Is it time to become practitioner, Gideon, and be the fucking guardsman of Krieg, fucking rogue warrior? That'd be sick.
Him to finally become the paladin everybody thinks he is.
No, not even paladin. Just
No.
be a fucking rogue. Just a battle rogue.
Arcadum, do I know what the armor I was supposed to put on does yet?
No, you'll find out once you make your prestige decision.
Oh, well, I mean, I've made it. I'm like pretty set
Well,
on converter.
you'll find out
Okay.
when we play again.
Okay.
Next time.
No, I'm just saying. Because once your character's locked in, that's when its effects can awaken. So
Be patient.
So
It hasn't
after
even
break.
come into the place yet. Be patient.
Yes, after break.
It's
let's-
not even here yet.
So
Well, I
Jay-
mean, we play next week.
so yes,
so,
but next
yes.
week we'll be doing a bunch of role playing.
Yeah.
Ooh, role playing.
Let's see here. So you're thinking Stigmata?
I am. Mainly because I like Shaman, but it doesn't feel like her.
That's
I
fair.
guess.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like, you're not gonna like hurt my feelings or anything. You don't pick the things.
No,
I suggest. I'm there just to get
I like
options.
your suggestions. I like your options. I keep bouncing back and forth, and I've got them open in tabs, and I've been like looking through them and everything, and I'm like, I like the flavor of Stigmata, and I think it still works.
That's
in
fair.
the whole synchronization of the party.
Wounding on your spear and bladed on the shield.
Right.
Exactly.
Wounding's 5.
Oh.
He can only start with 4. Yeah. But
How do shield attacks work?
What do you mean?
Like if I put bladed on my shield, I forget what that does.
Bladed means that you can attack it with a shield, but it loses. So unless you have shield bash, which is from the heavy shield, you lose your AC if you attack with your shield.
Right. Okay. So never mind on that. I would probably put mostly silvered on my gear, just so I can cast a ton of spells and then not have to worry about it.
That works. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's a goal.
Yeah. So you have Serrated Blood, Succor and Suffering, Hallowed Suffering. Yeah, those are all really good.
They are. So I'm probably gonna go with that. I think I'm locking that in.
Sainted Stigmata. Okay, in that case, for now, I'm going to lock you in with that. Ginny is Sainted Stigmata. Okay. What about you, Essy? What are you thinking?
Well, if he's locked that in, should I go for Revengeant for the stacking and the buffing bonuses?
What does your heart tell you?
It does have some of that, but at the same time, Revengeant has been your pet prestige class for like 3 weeks.
Well, that's because I didn't know about the others.
That's
but
true.
Yes, it has been.
That's true.
Do it. Go Revengeant.
Would Farryn rather take revenge on people, or would she rather sassily talk down to everyone in combat and make them feel bad?
I mean, yes, but she'd probably be talking down because of the revenge, which is kind of how I formed her character anyway. She is very revenge-based.
Well, sounds like you have a choice in front of you then.
She's a renegade for life.
Let's go, renegade! Yeah, dude, take the renegade option. Punch the guy who falls asleep behind the crates. Do it. Do it again. Fuck that guy. He dies every time.
Paragon till death.
Well, usually IRL, I definitely only play Paragon for the most part. But yeah, let's go Revengeant for now, in case I change it.
All right,
but,
Revengeant. Yeah.
I do have some other questions when we get to items once we're done with prestige stuff.
Okay. Let's go up to you, Micha'el.
Converter.
Converter. Okay.
Yeah.
A fine choice. Gideon.
I'm stuck between veteran and penitent. I'm stuck between those two.
Okay.
But I will say, if Thorne goes Bayou Bouncer, I will take Errant Knight.
Oh my god, dude!
I will.
I would be so happy, dude. It's so sick.
I will do it.
Oh, the damage!
I will let Thorne be my dominatrix. I will wear it like that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh!
All
right.
All right. Wow. I'm gonna go down to Mythos and let you two figure shit out.
Tonight.
Mythos.
I'm not fully locked in yet, but I'm bouncing between Sage and Infiltrator.
Sage and Infiltrator.
Yeah.
There you go.
Also, I can command Gideon to suck my toes.
Stop.
No.
Suck my toes until I am pleased. You'll know.
You'll know.
So that's what I'm referring to. Yeah. You'll know.
Yeah.
Man.
And command can be a short phrase, right?
Command specifies in the spell what it can be.
And his last command was come, and they came. All of them. Even the dragons.
Even the dragons.
Man. For weapon tiers, do they add together? So like if you have a 4th tier weapon, it would be like a 1, and a 2 would be 4?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're additive.
Neat.
Oh, all these other campaign people in their their non-crafting knowledge. It's so new, it's so fresh.
I know.
Right?
You've only had.
Yep. I'm a halfling that forgot how. Yep.
I've had 15 sessions of city building.
I've learned a lot, Batman.
I'm from
Most-
Conflux.
Most notably on how to poop. What? Anyway. Huh? So, what is it? Soka.
Huh?
So-
Soka. Because, Kimo Jeep.
Yo no sé, comprende.
Can you pair?
Me no entiende.
Can you pair fluxed, like fire fluxed and frost fluxed on one thing?
Yeah,
Sweet.
you can get all fluxed up, Billy.
All fluxed up.
Yeah, make a tier
All
8
the
fire
elemental
flux,
damage.
cold flux, thunder flux, volt flux, and just have all of the damage.
Sounds very Skyrim.
God.
I dig it.
It can't be immune to your damage if you do all damage.
If I do every type of damage, you can't resist it, can you?
Is there a radiant fluxed?
No.
Damn.
Divine favor. Good luck.
Well, there are ways to get that
Yeah.
in the
Yes.
prestige classes.
Indeed, I saw that.
Like if you were a paladin and went silver guard, you just
Yeah, I
have
know.
divine favor.
Yes, I know. I looked at it. I was like,
I thought that would be another one that Thorne might like taking is Silver Guard.
Oh, her with
Can't.
Silverguard would be
Yeah.
crazy.
I think it's really out of like the aesthetic of it. Oh wait, no, never mind. You have to be magic for that. Never mind.
Yeah. just
Never
can't do it.
mind. Never mind. Lol.
Like,
blank.
That's kind of why I recommended Gravelord to her, because its prereq is martial and it progresses in martial.
Yeah.
So that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
What
So
class is Red Smiles part of? Because I read that and that was a little
Pedal Knight.
That's Pedal Knight,
Yeah.
which also would be a crazy one for well, no, she's no charisma. Never mind.
she was.
Not anymore.
Lol.
I did not have any charisma. Couldn't be me. But I have a measly +2.
I think she.
Yeah, but if you swap your strength to your charisma, then bam, you get to use your charisma for all your strength, and then your muscle is bound by how pretty you look.
That's true.
I was ugly, so I'd be weak.
That's also true.
Micha'el is ugly.
Hey, Bikini Banga and ugly.
Oh my gosh.
Tiny peepee and ugly, bro. He gets no maidens.
No,
He's
Yeah.
the hyper virgin.
Esmal.
it's okay. They don't.
Boy, Mal.
They don't all want a big one. It's all fine.
Okay.
You'll
so
be
Honestly,
fine.
having a big one's overrated, you know?
let's see.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So
The big one's overrated.
let me see the list.
Don't feel bad.
Ginny is a Sainted Stigmata. Essy
Big
is
ones hurt.
Revengeant. Micha'el is Converter. Mythos is thinking Sage or Infiltrator. And you were thinking what, Caped? What were the two that you were thinking about?
Let's do veteran mercenary or errant knight.
Veteran Mercenary / Errant Knight.
Build the meta combo. Let's go.
Well, I just think it's actually not that meta because it's just this. It happens to be this group's setup. Like
Yeah.
you have the sufficient amount of marshals. You have a marshal that's doing the flail build.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just happens to work really well for this combo. That's why I suggested it.
Listen, of my work title and my location, I have a big bias towards Bayou Bouncer. all I'm saying.
Florida.
I already put your vote into my notes.
All
for
right, good.
consideration.
Yeah, it's, considering I'm about to go do part of that job title later, and I live by the swamp, do it.
Like, I just need to figure out how to reflavor it to non-cringe aesthetic, and life will be much better.
What
And
do we-
yet part of me sits here wanting to hear your Bayou voice accent as Thorne.
Absolutely. I'd probably just go deeper into Texan now. I don't know if anyone can understand that. I'm already a disaster.
Every
But-
time you pull up on somebody,
We talking Boomhauer? Dang on,
Cletus!
dang on, dang on, dang
What are we
on.
doing here?
Fucking
All right,
risen.
all y'all need to simmer down. Let's keep on going.
She just straight up goes King of the Hill.
That's my favorite anime.
King of Hill is a great anime.
Yeah.
It is.
Dubbed or subbed?
Oh, I listened to it subbed because I can speak Southern.
Ah, very good.
Yes.
And
I listened to it in German once. It was the wildest thing ever.
good. As far as the items go, one, how much are the practitioner's stim gauntlets, and what training do we need to actually effectively use it? Because we
The class.
we sort of floundered with it. Oh, never mind.
But damn, I forgot we lost that
No kits.
gauntlet, bro.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, you could retrain into rogue and do it. There's plenty of rogue stuff you can do. I think
Oh,
there's
no.
there's even the what is it? The rogue. I know I did one of them. One of them is a wanderer that can access additional martial progression. That's pretty damn good. Like you could switch to God. What is it? Fuck. Can't remember. But okay. Now it's gonna bother me. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Let me go look.
He's opening the tome.
Yeah, there it is.
Are you jealous of my braces, Thorne?
I've seen how effective they are, and given that healing me is an action, like having some auto heal on hand saves action economy.
You could retrain out a fighter into ranger and then take practitioner. That would be sick, especially since you don't care about glory.
I really don't.
That's
Shame.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Ranger.
But I'm gonna try and ignore that.
Like I don't think I'll be able to get glory, and so I'm
Why?
I'm not
Why do you
concerned
think
about
that?
it.
Why do you think that? Why? Why are you so negative?
I don't go for greed like that.
It's not greed. It's glory. What?
I mean, not everybody wants to be a fighter. That's fair.
It's like,
I agree.
From what
but
we've seen, it's like, hey, take this big risk in going after the Kraken, and it's like, do I really want to imperil my party like that?
I mean,
Hard pass.
in that
And-
case, if he hadn't done so, we would have been shipless.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you mean take on the glorious action that by doing so makes your party
Saving the
victorious?
world?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
they
saves us
whisper
all?
and they whisper your name.
Or
It is
like when brass
self-sacrifice.
tacks had like you have to stay in range of these, like it's basically encouraging like suboptimal play in some cases, and we already have a hard enough time.
Yeah, but in Court of Curses, it was like, oh, just don't have the NPCs help you. And we didn't need their help anyway, so it was just a gimme.
Kick their ass.
So
Court of Curses is juiced up. They have
What? I'm
And
sorry.
then, but here's the thing: you also don't have to take it if you
Yeah,
don't
that's
want
the
to.
thing. Like,
Just like
what-
Court of Curses, don't let a party member die. Well, Zool always dies every combat. Let's skip that.
Let me
I
also
don't
dies
die,
every
I go
time.
down. There's a difference.
Let me also point
And
out
I got right
that-
back up, thank you.
Let me also point out that making a suboptimal choice is purely a personal choice. They don't have to be. Sometimes it's because people haven't addressed and looked at every detail of the situation.
Oh yeah, and like it's a
I mean,
like it's
same
a choice.
goes for all
It's
these
not
prestige
forced,
classes.
but it's to accumulate a resource. But if you are not
Resource
inclined to
good.
make that choice, then you get zero
Yeah.
resource, and it's just
And
a
that's-
dead ability.
That's fine. If you don't like the mechanic, you don't have to use
You
it.
do realize you get glory after you defeat a major enemy, right? So you get glory anyway.
That requires us to win a battle.
Oh
We
my
will.
god,
Which
you're
we
number
have
one
done
hater.
multiple
we've done.
times.
When was
Thorne,
the last time?
Dude.
Oh my god.
Thorne,
We've
I'm
defeated-
gonna be the
We've
troll.
defeated
defeated
an
the
entire
cave.
occult.
The troll is
Druids.
still alive.
No, I'm talking about
What are
the
you
guy in the
talking about?
cave. Reevee.
guy.
That's
The
because he
guy
can
in the
revive.
cave. the major boss in the cave. We killed him.
You wiped out an entire village.
That
Like,
was a good time.
like I don't see. I honestly don't know if you're trolling me or not. Like, do you actually
No.
think that? Like,
She is-
I have
she is-
significant concern of like
She is just a
trajectory.
warrior, and this is a normal person thing.
don't.
But I want to encourage you,
Okay.
Reevee, to not worry. We're going to win, and it's going to be sick.
It is.
always win.
Mm-hmm.
It's never
Man.
lost. It's only learning.
Also, I just learned about Mana Weave.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna
You
be
want to have all the AR?
I'm gonna be so
Get
hard.
anointed mana weave and spam spells as much as you can.
You know what really confuses me is how you say that you don't want to do suboptimal things, and yet at the beginning of this, let me finish. At the beginning of this, you told me that you wanted to take Gravelord, which is the most unoptimal choice for this party. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I hadn't have told you that it was anti-Mytherian, you were totally gung-ho to take it. So I don't understand how you're coming up with these classifications. Like, I don't. Gravelord is completely, like, unoptimal for this party. Like, it just is. Like,
Yeah.
so...
Where it's, like, two modes. Like, do I do what's optimal
What?
in combat, or do I, like, go, like, roleplay fun? Kind of like how Mythos has, like, his build where he starts at range, which, like, isn't optimal as far as hit rates.
It can be, actually. It actually can be.
It can be. I just have shit stats for that.
Yeah,
We're just not there at
he's
the
done
moment.
it poorly.
He can be, but execution's a different issue. But that... It sounds like you're...
Let's go.
Like,
Or
moving...
I'm at the crossroads of, like, what is
Well, then what do you want?
interesting or what is mechanical?
Let's figure this out, right? Because I don't want you to make a choice and play a character that you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the deal? Like, what is it that you want? Because you honestly have confused the shit out of me about what you want. Because you'll make an argument for mechanics, you'll make an argument for aesthetics, you'll make an argument that you want to do something that would make the game way more complex, like Gravelord, but then you'll also tell me that you don't want to do things like oaths because they're too much interaction. Like, you realize that the oaths are at least as complicated as people working around your fucking aura, right? Like, it's just as complex. The difference is that it's a complex versus a player-controlled detriment rather than a positive that's just going to stack up on it. Like, if you want to play Gravelord, I'm totally for that. But it's like, your arguments don't make sense. Like, they just don't make any sense at all. And I'm trying to figure out what is it that you want? Because I want to get you there.
It feels like the Notebook scene.
It is the Notebook scene. What do you want?
I've never seen the Notebook.
What?
Oh, you should watch the Notebook.
I don't know. What do you want?
This is Essy and I deciding on dinner every day.
What do you want?
I don't know.
Food. What kind of food? The edible kind?
Yeah. I asked first. You decide.
I decided last time.
Oh gosh. Okay, then
Right,
tacos. It's just like, I don't want tacos. We had tacos 3 days ago.
The answer is cheeseburgers. Always cheeseburgers.
Always cheeseburgers. And I looked at her. And she looked at me.
And she looked at me. And I looked at him.
So sometimes you just gotta choose your cheeseburger, Thorne, and decide what.
Oh my gosh.
And just go with it.
You just eat your cheeseburger and be happy.
Don't believe in yourself.
Answer, though.
Believe in the us that believe in you.
All right, let me approach it this way, right? So the reason you don't like Fighter's Glory has nothing to do with the fact that you don't like Glory. It's that you don't think you can produce the resource, right?
Yeah, where it's like, I think I've been pretty spooked with how season 2 has been going.
Cool. Play Chosen.
Yes.
Just literally play
That's
Chosen.
even more glory.
Yeah, but it's
Like,
guaranteed
for
glory.
free.
It's guaranteed
It's guaranteed.
glory. Like, read through the class carefully. Storied Strike, which is something that you get to choose to use, right? At any time, with no resource cost, you can choose to make an attack with an improved critical threshold. It's free crit threshold. If you crit, you get 1 temporary glory that you can use for these class features. And so that's something that you can just generate glory easily as you fight. And then, if you have that glory, you can use it for all this other stuff, but since you're a fighter, you get legend instead, and you can use it for all these increased effects. So at the very basic, bare minimum, you can make temporary legend, in this case, that you can use to fuel all of your abilities. Which, man, the legend effects in this are crazy. Like I think you mentioned once that you wanted to train out of intimidation because you don't like it when NPCs laugh at you because the rolls aren't called for. Which that's a whole nother issue that we need to talk about, because I think you're completely confused on how that works. But if you want to do that, then take Chosen. At 7th level, you have a fear aura that gives you temp HP. You literally make people shit themselves. Like, all the things that you have said that you want to play are available. You just have to take them. They're right there. So.
Yeah, I'm just, like, aware that I am, like, a very, like, squeaky, high-pitched, not particularly scary thing, so...
That has nothing to do with your character.
Thorne is a beast.
Thorne is a zealot.
Or,
like,
this is a rebuild time. So if you're not really feeling fighter,
yeah, you can do
make
that
a rogue and go Inquisitor.
Yeah, now is the time to do it. Yeah,
whatever.
now is the time to do that. Like, if you want to do that, do that, man. You could you could be an Inquisitor, bro, and you can chastise stuff. You can lock enemies out of their abilities. How about that? That's fucking cool, right?
I just thought about how cool Ranger as a blank actually is, because their powers are all not magical.
They're all supernatural or extraordinary, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to sense everyone, but nobody being able to sense you. That's actually really freaking good.
Yeah, there's lots of good stuff. Yeah. Hell, you could be a shanty lord. Like, you could go rogue and be a shanty lord.
Full pirate.
And
then, pirate hat.
And then you'd get access to bardic songs again. How about that?
And I'd get to hear the pirate accent instead of the Bayou accent.
That's true. That's true. Like, you can do any of that. I'm just here to help you get there. That's all.
Oh yeah, and I'm saying I literally need to at the end just make all the printout pages and work on the highlights.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's not something I can pair through.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to decide now.
Reading while people are talking to me is neither works.
Hey Reevee. Hey Reevee.
Hey Reevee, how about this one?
Hey Reevee, this. How about this? This and this.
We love you. It's all good.
Oh, I know.
All right. So everybody else, what are you going to do, Gideon?
Well, I think he narrowed it down to 2, and he said Errant Knight if I choose Bayou Bouncer.
Veteran, Mercenary, and Errant Knight?
Yeah, I think those are the two.
Okay.
Penitent one's still up there, but...
Are you considering any right now, Thorne?
She's got to look at the papers.
I've got to
walk
papers.
And talk.
There's too many.
That's fine. That's fair. I did make a lot. So
yeah.
The next thing we should go over then is we got your campaign figured out. We've got a bunch of money, which is something that how you spend that's going to be determinant on what classes that you choose, but we can go over a couple of basic things, I suppose, and that is...
Can Mana Weave be on scale now? Or is it a light armor only?
That's a light armor only.
Still probably maybe worth it. Oh, the decisions.
You could be an armored rogue, cleric. Nothing wrong with that.
It's an idea.
I mean, you could have a Mana Weave light for doing our infiltration stuff, and then have your normal, whatever you wear, plate or splint, for, like...
That's true.
Squatting up to go kill some zombies.
That's true as well.
And I've moved away from Glaiveloid. I think I like the aesthetic of, like, leaning more into morbid death things, but it doesn't work with, like, healer's kit and everything like that as well. And I don't care about summoning undead. So...
If you don't care about summoning undead, don't play Gravelord.
Yeah. That's like the main
so much of its power budget is in that effect. Like, don't do it, Bill.
That level 9,
Excuse
though.
you.
But yes.
Well, there's also Walker in the Wastes. If you
want
to,
dude, don't.
Oh yeah, you really want to do some heresy?
Hey, yeah, you want to just give up, abscond with your humanity? Pick Walker in the Waste. You want to be a demon? Just do that.
No.
You sure?
Fine. It'll be
murder
fine.
you right there.
Would you
what
like
do
to
you
be,
mean?
You get to
she
choose
has matching horns for you, Micha'el.
Yeah, you get to choose 3 different flavors. You can go demon,
Yeah, you will be
devil,
murdered
demon.
on the spot, and everyone around me will be empowered by your demon presence to be murdered.
Oh man, that would be so funny if she just randomly chose that. Like, I would just be like, you know what? I'm not even mad now. She just turns into a demon.
That's ballsy right there.
It's like, god
Hey,
damn.
Micha'el, look at my horns. 2 arms.
I mean, and you could also, Black Steep's Ranger. You could be Batgirl.
Is that the
I-
one
it's-
with
Why are
the
you
eternal
laughing
cape?
like that?
Yes, that's the
I
one with
love
the
the cape.
billowing cape.
Oh
yeah.
no.
Oh,
Ugly
dude.
duck.
Oh, dude, you could totally. Wow, you could rebuild into Black Steps Ranger. That would be so sick. You would have a cape constantly billowing, Thorne.
Constantly billowing in the
Constantly
wind.
billowing.
Constantly billowing.
Sounds a
Even if there's
Kinda
no
sick.
wind. Listen to me. You want to be edgy? Be the Batman class, which is the Black Steps Ranger. Stand in the
There's-
back, cross arms, hood up, cape billowing. I'm sorry. That's just fucking.
like there's goth and then there's edgy. There's
I love
an
it.
element of elegance.
Oh yeah.
It could be a very
Yeah.
elegant cape.
Yeah,
And I
you-
guess it's like Biobancer is, like build sound, but zero elegance. It's like if I can brainstorm.
I mean, you could
and
reflavor
fix
the
that-
abilities.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just reflavor them. Like, it doesn't matter to me. You don't have to be a Southern Alda Fife and a swamp
Absolutely
lady.
not.
You don't have to be all... Okay, first of all, I don't like how you're just kind of dismissing that. You think I can't be an elegant, emo-looking piece of shit like you?
I'd be happy to do your eyeliner.
Yep. I love Mytheria. Yep.
Yeah.
For now.
Mhm.
For now, soon. So by the one true God, Mr. Forgiveness himself, it's Farryn.
It's
Okay. All right. A couple other things to talk about then, since we kind of got through some prestiges, and I think I've yapped enough at you about options. Let's talk about feats. So, I'll be working on another set of feats over the course of this week. There's going to be about 40 of them. The idea is I'm going to be filling in the general feats with a lot more options. And I'll be filling in the roles themselves with a lot more options. This will also include 8th level feats, which will give you things to build towards. I haven't made everything yet, but I wanted to make it clear that there's a couple that might be build-centric that will be available soon, in case you want to think about that. The first one is Mounted Combat is going to be a feat, which will give you improved action economy with a mount. So things like your mount can attack, you can jump on your mount and jump off without any adverse action economy, the ability to pick up other people with it, stuff like that.
But no slam bam.
Well, don't summon him, okay? He's
summon a
sweet
better mount.
He's a sweet passive boy that just wants to sell you shells, man.
And cook us food.
That's right.
Which we haven't eaten.
Gugapa la papa bow, bow pa bam bam.
Wow. I fucking love Crapopolis.
All right, next is there's going to be a feat chain, or not chain, but some general feats that will allow for minor dips into other roles. Most notably, this will be you can get access to 1 skill focus, you can get access to 1 weapon trick. I haven't decided if I'm going to make them 8th level or not, but there's also going to be there. So if any of you are like, oh, I wish I had just 1 of those, there might be a way open for you there. There's also going to be faction-based feats. For you guys, that's important because you'll have access to the Mytherian ones. So I'm going to be making a bunch of faction feats that I think will be really nice. And then finally, for 8th level, there will be advanced apotheosis feats. So there's the greater apotheosis feats, as well as there's going to be bard song feats. There's going to be monastic fighting style feats. There'll be... I'm also going to be making more advanced fighting styles, but I haven't decided on if I'm going to do those during the feats or after the feats. Probably after the feats, but...
3 weapon fight.
But anyway. No, you're not going to play fucking One Piece Zoro, dude.
No!
Tore it up.
You're breaking his heart.
As cool as that character is, that's still stupid. It's
It is.
very
That's how you
dumb,
break
and,
your teeth.
and it's not going to happen. Let it go.
Wow.
Let it go. Let it go. Okay.
Yeah, you want to get shot by your
Yeah,
captain?
I'm human. Ready? Here it comes.
I'm fuming.
And I don't take disadvantage from being in melee range. Watch out.
My Revengeant, the one who sings that song again. Kill him.
Listen, I could just command her to lay down, and then I scream the song at her.
No, what you do, Micha'el, if you want her to kill something real good, is you use command on someone and tell them to sing, let it go, and then whisper, let it go afterwards. She will target them immediately.
Yeah, Farryn, just let it go.
Just let it go.
The release.
This is hurting.
Just
The fact that she hates it so much makes me laugh so hard, dude. Like, it's...
You know what's funny is my niece, that's her favorite song to sing and dance to. She's like 2. And she and I will be in the living room dancing and singing loudly, and Essy's just over on the couch, like, hands on face, dying.
I am trying to smile for the sake of my niece.
We're singing it the 4th time in a row, just
Wow,
having
so
a good time.
You just hate the joyfulness of young children? Crazy.
She does.
My gosh, no.
I was the elementary school teacher. She got to teach junior high. It was probably best.
All right. So the next thing I want to go over with you guys, now that we touched on feats a little bit, is because you're Dark Sermon, you have access to Mytherian blessings.
Yes.
Which are big spells that can be cast on you. Hold on, let me get these open.
Please
Define
bless
spell.
me.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay, so it would be... sorry, got a little out of place there. You don't have access to the blessings yet, but you do have access to a vial of Mytheria's tears, which is an elixir. It acts as an elixir of life. And you guys are gifted that for your mission up ahead. So I need to know who's got that item on them.
That was Ariel.
well, no,
What?
he's giving us another one.
We get one now.
Oh, never mind. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
What does it
Different
do again?
elixir.
It's elixir of life. It's a
a
group
forward
heal
side.
that can heal you out of death.
I mean,
Is it a potion?
Farryn.
Yeah, it's a potion. It's an elixir which is drank as a potion, and it affects you and all of your allies within 30 feet.
Then maybe me, because I've got the bracers that let me do it as a bonus action.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Yeah, you're right.
Whoops, didn't mean to do that.
Oh, hi.
Look how
Hey,
pretty
look
she
at
is.
that.
Hello.
It's
Hi.
very
Look.
beautiful. Incredible. I love her.
I love the braid.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Hold on, this is for Luke.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
There you
Glimpse upon me.
go. Dude, what the
Aw.
fuck, dude? He's-
Yes, observe.
It's so funny to me, dude. He's so like
Man.
when he does his little voice break, dude, I fucking die every time.
His voice break is great.
Oh man. All right.
I'm curio. Classic.
So we did this. We got all that done. Prestige class is done, or at least started. Trying to think if there's anything else that we need to.
Are we going over what we want to requisition this session, like for
Yeah, we
armor
might as well.
weapons?
We might as well get started. So we'll start with requisitions. So what do we got? Who wants to go first?
How are we dividing money?
Yeah.
2,000 a person.
Okay. So we're trying to stay within budget?
Yeah, I
Mythos
mean,
is
I think
2,000 will be a floating 2,000.
you're not going to spend any gold there, big guy.
Probably not. And if he does, it's probably going to be like minimum.
Maybe
trying-
you buy yourself potions.
I'm
Yeah,
still trying to
minimum.
figure out how to properly add properties to the stuff I have.
You just drag and drop it, my friend.
Where I was trying to look through your little Foundry notes thing, and I'm just a big confused boy now.
Okay, so when you open up when you go open
Got
up
the
the
little
weapon,
companion packs. Yeah.
yeah. So when it's in the journal tab, so to the right of the little blue gift box,
Oh, okay.
where it says journal, and then you'll see a
There they
folder
are.
called descriptors.
Yep.
That's all your descriptors, and then when you open up the weapon, you edit the description of the weapon, and then all you got to do is just drag and drop the descriptor you want into that page, and
Okay.
it's right there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna edit the stuff that I already have, and then yeah, we'll go from there.
We can do an order again if you guys want.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know the base information, I guess, written out for the sensor flail and the whip flail. Just because those I have to know, like, the base weapon costs and how that impacts things.
Sensor flail is the same as normal flail. It's just that you can use sensor smoke in it up to 3.
Okay.
And hold on, I'll just type it out for you. It'll be easier. Sensor flail.
Much appreciated.
Same as
And it would have-
flail, except 3 doses of sensor salts can be used with it. Whip flail, which is the oh god, what did I call this? Oh, there we go. It's called the Obituator's Chain, is what it's actually called, but that's what the chain whip is.
Oh,
I know. Very good. And then I did want to know, because I haven't looked too much at weapon properties, but I know if you get, like, spiked and bladed, you have to choose your damage type when you make the attack or something.
Correct. If you have access to multiple types, you have to choose between them with rare exceptions.
Okay. But if, like, the flails already have crush and I add spiked, is it spiked and crush, or, like...
You have to
That's
choose
the
between
base flail?
spiked or crush.
Okay.
You get an added option, but you can choose to switch between them in between attacks as you attack, all that stuff. You basically decide when you do the damage roll. And in addition to that, there are some exceptions to that, but they are
Yeah,
specified.
but I'm staying with flail.
Well, there's properties that can give you exceptions to that, but I'm just saying that just adding Impale to it is not good enough to do that. Anyway. Where was I? Fuck, I forgot where I was. Where? Comfortable what?
Comfortable Doug.
Why?
No, I'm looking through details for armor and stuff.
Okay.
Comfortable Doug.
Uh-huh.
I have become comfortably numb.
Right.
All right. All right, there's the basics for them.
you.
Let's see. Who else was wanting something? Sorry.
I was gonna get a mana weave robe. Two silvered daggers, like chef's knives.
Okay.
And can I get a silvered chef hat?
Yes.
Sweet.
That's a silvered. We'll call that a hood.
A hood. Fair enough.
That's 150 gold pieces.
Okay.
What was the next bit you wanted?
Let me look at.
What daggers did you say you wanted?
Just 2 silvered daggers.
That should be 50 gold each, I think. That's tier 1.
And then I need a. Well.
Those daggers, your cooking knives.
Yeah, they're both. They're my chef knives. And let's see, I was gonna take probably 3 purging potions and an invisibility potion. Where's my money at? Somebody help me with my math here.
What do you need?
How much
the
did we have?
is ready.
How much did we have each to start again?
2,000.
2,000. Oh, well, good. I've got plenty of room then. But yeah.
How many purging potions?
I'm gonna take 3 purging potions and 1 invisibility potion.
Okay.
And then, as far as other things, I'm probably just gonna learn a bunch of spells in the here in the Abbey.
Well, the total amount that's going to cost you is 700 gold. So you have 300 gold left.
Okay. In that case, spells are 100 per spell level.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to buy them, you'll have access to
wanted
some
to
of them here.
Okay. I imagine the cleric and paladin divine spells will be here.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
anything else, you're gonna have to buy them. So.
Okay. The other stuff was based on if I was gonna be Wind Whisperer, so I don't feel like I need them as much now. I'm okay with that. I don't need to use up my whole amount of cash.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll take another 2 purging potions then, just in case.
I'm writing out what I'm getting and making sure my math checks out. But if you're really not planning on spending your money, Mythos, if you could consider getting 1 or 2 of the Masterwork medkits, and I will use those to great effect.
All right.
Then
All right. Who's next? Money wise.
How much for some hilted falchions?
Just base level hilted falchion.
Yeah.
Base falchion is 450 gold. So you add on whatever the tier for that is.
Can I put hilted on a flail?
Yeah.
Okay. Then as far as weapons, I would like to get a hollowed habituator chain, which is 400 plus the base cost. Hilted, anointed.
Hold on. You want a hallowed
Habituator chain.
Habituator chain. Okay.
Yes.
Let me go see how much that is.
400 plus base.
I think hilted is just a tier 1, yeah?
see.
Oh no, hilted is on the sensor flail. I'm doing the two flails differently.
Okay, so you want a hallowed habituator chain. All right, that's 800 gold.
Okay.
And the next one is?
Hilted, impale, anointed, sensor flail.
Okay, so hilted, impale, anointed. Let's see. Do you have like some money already? Or is somebody giving you some money? Yeah, you're way over.
Oh, never mind.
Like what?
Let me.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. You might just be within range, but let me see.
Are we still getting the discount because of Merchant Man?
Let's see here. 200. Hilted.
Arcadum, we still getting that 20% discount you told us?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
including
cool.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
You basically
What is
don't.
it?
You basically don't have to pay any taxes. Anointed. Anointed is 1. You want regular hilted, which is 1, and then you want the other ones you wanted.
Or maybe I don't know how to read the tier list.
Hilted, impale.
Does it not go like that?
Impale.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck is impale? No. Oh, it's spiked. I'm an idiot. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 3. That's 3. Okay, 3, tier 2, 3, 450. So that should be 450. Okay, and that puts you at 1,250 gold. Which means you have 750 remaining.
Yay. Okay. Next. Is Mythos getting any of the med kits, or am I grabbing those?
I mean, his money's there for whatever, so if you need to spend it on that and save yours, then yeah, he'll grab them.
I appreciate it. And then as far as sedatives, you said it was 100 each. I would like to get...
Well, hold on. What that means is like there's a poison that puts people to sleep, or there's medicinal sedatives like potions of sleep. So which do you want?
Like if I'm like pushing someone to stay unconscious while doing doctoring things. And sort of
So the medicinal one. So you want a potion
Yeah.
of sleep. Okay. Potion of sleep's 150 gold.
Okay.
How many do you want?
Just one.
1? Okay.
What are the different types of med kits we're getting, and how much are they?
He said they're 450 each. I don't know if there's a price difference between them.
What? No. They're 100. They're 150 each. As in,
Oh.
each one is 150. The total cost, if you wanted 3, would be 450.
I understand you now. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I would want to try one of each of the Masterwork medkits and see how that goes and learn more.
So that's what, a censored and oiled. What's the third one?
Goddess, I can't quite remember. I know it's on the wiki. Well, I think on that.
There's triage, sensor, and sacred oils that are available here. Did you want one of each?
Yes, please.
Okay. And Mythos is paying that?
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Then I would like 1 bless, 1 heroism, which should eat up most of the rest of the gold that I have.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, as my parents are here to take me to dinner, and I haven't seen them in a while.
Oh, have fun with that.
We are at sessions end, unfortunately.
I will get a more condensed list and
it's cool.
that next
We
time.
got time. We got plenty of time to get all this done. No worries about it.
Sweet.
Oh, man. All right, let's see if we have any fan art. I forgot to do fan art for the previous game, unfortunately.
Oh.
Oh no.
Well, I guess there really
We
wasn't
have
a
at
lot.
least
anyway.
one.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh no.
I saw one already that I'm bothered by.
Wait, guys, do we unveil our disguises now or later?
No.
No, later.
No, later.
When we actually...
What are you
He's so
smoking?
excited. Yeah, he's
Hey,
so excited.
hey, I was just asking.
I trained the dragon. I raised
Oh,
the
boy.
dragon.
No.
Yes.
The dog.
You may have lost your bardic riz, but you have not yet lost your fighting spirit.
Sun Tzu.
Thank you, Cavity.
Going through an entire session of logistics. First time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
What?
true.
What the fuck is this, dude?
I love you.
What? He's
Marla.
not wrong.
He's not wrong. So
Yeah.
it's the wrong halfling. I cannot wait to see Luke try to flirt with Waymaker. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. Really hard to flirt with. That's not true. I just say that so people don't try.
Listen, I know a secret.
Oh, don't. Not on stream. Not on stream.
Yes.
No.
Oh, I love Tasty.
Adorable.
No.
They
I
are.
wasn't gonna expose you, but I know.
And another, just all sorts of
Alrighty.
rabbits.
All right.
So many bunnies.
Good games,
Hey
guys.
everyone.
Good stuff. Good sesh. Good sesh. I'll see you guys next week.
Bye bye.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.